A's return home from their first road trip on a high, taking 3 of 4 from the Angels of Anaheim. The pitching staff led the way as they received some solid performances from the starters and an equally impressive job by the bullpen that allowed only 1 run during the A's' current win streak. Tonight marks the first of 6 straight home games against 2 of the top teams in the AL Central. First up, the Cleveland Indians, who have won 5 of their last 6. And last night rallied with 2 runs in the top of the ninth in Seattle. It's Game 1, A's Indians, next. Well, beautiful weather all weekend long as the A's will celebrate the 40-year anniversary of their World Series win over the Cincinnati Reds. In town, the Cleveland Indians tonight. And the A's, well, they are feeling pretty good about themselves, coming home from the road trip, winning the final 3 games in Anaheim. So tonight, the first of 3, it's the A's and the Indians coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball, along with Ray Fosse. I'm Glenn Kuiper. Indeed, the A's are glad to be back home, but they had a smile on their face after the last 3 nights in Anaheim. And really, the whole series, Ray, it was all about the A's pitching. The A's got some big hits, but, boy, the pitching was terrific.
You know, it really helps if you're not scoring runs that your pitching is doing great, whether it's the starters or the relievers. Take a look at these numbers, just phenomenal numbers against a very good hitting ball club of the Angels down in Anaheim. Their home park, they draw well, they have a great hitting ball club, but the A's starters and the relievers did a tremendous job, and, of course, they hope to continue that as they start this series tonight against the Cleveland Indians. But those numbers, you just don't expect a lot of times, especially coming out of spring training. But the A's pitchers have done a great job, and this young man, Graham Godfrey, hopes that that is the case for him. Last Sunday in Seattle, he was not on the same page with his catcher, not a very good pace. He hopes to change that tonight. And by the way, he normally pitches when it rains. A beautiful night tonight, so he should do quite well against the Indians here at the Coliseum.
And he will be opposed by the right-hander Ubaldo Jimenez for the Indians. So the weekend celebration starts tonight, and it's going to be fun all weekend long. But we're going to have Joe Rudy and that man Raleigh Fingers in the booth tonight. They'll talk about that 1972 World Series. Lineups, first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back.
on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. And by Toyota. Check out the great deals at your local Toyota dealer today.
Beautiful night for baseball, the A's and the Indians. And just as we come back, the Athletics take the field wearing the green tops tonight. Authentic Fan Friday. Just upstairs above us, the free T-shirts they're giving away. So that group will have a good time in the value deck. We're going to have a good time in the broadcast booth. And when it's all said and done, see if the A's can win their fourth in a row. Game time weather brought to you by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The admission-free boardwalk is open this weekend. 69 degrees. Boy, gorgeous night. Hot throughout the Bay Area today. And it's going to be a nice, warm weekend. We're going to celebrate 1972, 40 years ago. This year, the A's beat the Cincinnati Reds.
Seems like just 40 years ago.
40 years ago. Let's take a look at the Tribe's lineup. And here it is. Michael Brantley's going to lead things off. He's in center field. Jason Kipnis, Shin-Soo Choo, Carlos Santana, Travis Hafner, Shelley Duncan, Casey Kochman, Jack Hanahan, and Jason Donald. That's the Indians' starting lineup for tonight.
And Graham Godfrey coming off back-to-back starts. One here against the Royals and then up in Seattle last Sunday. And well, Graham Godfrey, he'd like to get on the winning track, follow what his starters did in Anaheim, especially Cologne. Of course, Tyson Ross pitched very well last night. Tommy Malone, Graham Godfrey gets to start here tonight. And he's got good enough pitches, good enough stuff. And it's just a matter of him taking advantage of what he has. And he and his catcher working together and see if that can happen tonight.
Smith at left, Cespedes in center, Reddick in right for the A's, Sogard, Pennington, Weeks, and Kaihue on the infield with Recker getting the start tonight. Anthony Recker does the catching. And Graham Godfrey is on the mound. Michael Brantley is in the box, so we are ready to go from the Coliseum. And the first pitch of the game is in for a strike, so we're underway.
First pitch. 7:07.
It's Earth Week. Get in the game by recycling your bottles and cans. Green plays here. Comcast Sportsnet. Michael Brantley, the center fielder, hitting .209 with 4 RBIs. And Brantley, Kipnis, and Choo, the first 3 hitters for the Indians. Pitch off speed outside, 2-1.
Well, the A's went to Tokyo and, of course, had to recover from that trip. The Indians had to recover from back-to-back extra inning games to start the season. They played forever in the first 2.
And that one's lined right field. Reddick back in. He tracks it down.
And, boy, I think that just shows you how the ball is going to be carrying this weekend. Very warm tonight. Expected warmer tomorrow with a 6:05 first pitch, and then Sunday afternoon his pitch elevated a little bit too much. And fortunately, Reddick got a great jump on the ball. Just did a good job tracking it down and reaching over his shoulder. But he plays very well in right field. Of course, we've seen his arm. I think Bob Nolan said it best. You got 3 center fielders playing in the outfield for the Athletics, especially when Coco's in there. Johnny Gomes feels like he's a center fielder the way he plays.
So 1 out. Jason Kipnis, the young second baseman, steps in. Kipnis takes a big rip, and it's 0-2. Slow start for Kipnis, hitting .178. Does have 3 home runs and 8 RBIs. 0-2 pitch to Kipnis. That one's popped up. That'll reach the seats. The Indians are 6-5 on the year, but they've been playing good baseball. They're on a long road trip. It's a 9-game trip, and they're 5-1 on that trip. They swept the Royals in Kansas City and then won 2 out of 3 in Seattle. So they're playing good baseball so far on the trip. It's lofted toward right center. Cespedes is under it, and that's out number 2.
Maybe Josh Reddick can loan his, I think it's WWF big belt that he has, big gold belt. Maybe he can loan it to the Indians and the Royals, because they had some duking out last weekend, man. They had some Donnybrooks there, and
well, they'll see each other next Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
Yeah, that's the Josh Reddick belt. I guess he's loaning it to the fans in the stands. Sure. So he had it on tonight down at Moose's office.
And the Indians last night scored 2 runs in the top of the 9th inning against Brandon League to turn a 1-0 deficit into a 2-1 win. So the A's felt good about what they did in Anaheim, and I think the Indians were thrilled with getting that win over a game pitched by Felix Hernandez. So they got out of town with a comeback win to take 2 out of 3.
They get that confidence. They play that well on the road, and of course the A's saw that, winning 4 of the 7 after losing a couple of games in Seattle. But finished the road trip very positively, and that can only help.
Good off-speed pitch there from Godfrey. Chu way out ahead of it. 2-2 the count.
And that's what makes Graham Godfrey so good, because he can change his velocity on his fastball, but then he can pull the string with a good changeup. He's got the curve and the slide. He's got the forward pitches, and it's just a matter of him getting around the strike zone, keeping the hitters off balance. He does a good job of it.
This was the hit that put the Indians ahead last night in the 9th inning. Ooh, the bases were loaded.
Yep. And just past the diving Seager at third base. And Jack Hanahan with the opposite field hit.
And that was after Felix Hernandez struck out 12 in 8 shutout innings. So strike 3 called. Chu doesn't agree. And Godfrey will take it. He has a very nice 3-up, 3-down inning. Bottom of the first coming up.
Ty Willard. And the third base, number 3, Mike Gallego.
Jamal Weeks is going to lead it off for the Athletics. Who's behind Weeks? Pennington, Reddick, Cespedes, Smith, Gomes, Kaihui, Recker, and Sogar.
First full season for Ubaldo Jimenez of the Cleveland Indians, of course, acquired by the Indians on the trading deadline last season from the Colorado Rockies. And I guess they say you never know what you can get from him. You might get a perfect game for a few innings, but he might change after that. Pretty good fastball, 2 types of fastballs, 2 and a 4-seamer, a lot of movement, as you just saw on the first pitch.
Weeks hitting 190 with a couple of home runs, 3 RBIs.
Against the A's last year at home, 114 pitches in just 6 innings, so he was a little bit erratic.
On attempt, rolled foul.
Good to see Graham Godfrey have a clean 1-2-3 top of the inning. Chu mentioned didn't like this fastball, but right on the corner, and according to the home plate umpire, Cousins, it's all that matters. He liked it. Graham is clean in the first inning. That's good.
3-1 now, 2 weeks.
You said there's a lot of movement in his windup.
Yeah, he's got a lot going on.
A lot of arms and legs and wraps. And he has had a lot of success. You do not see a lot of the uniforms worn the way he does with the stirrup socks. Horseshoe in the back. I mean, that's old style there.
6'5", 220 pounders, Ubaldo Jimenez, 28 years old.
A hind and then leg kick, wraps it around his back, and then throws and nailed it. Perfect strike.
And that big trade was July of last year when the Indians acquired Ubaldo Jimenez from the Rockies. Gave up 3 young pitchers and an infield. Minor league prospects. Pop-up could be playable. Hanahan knows the ballpark. He's got it. So that's out number 1 here in the bottom of the first. Rest of the defense for the Indians. Duncan, Brantley, Chu in the outfield. Hanahan, Donald, Kipnis, and Kochman on the infield with Carlos Santana doing the catching.
The toughest thing for the A's hitters, I think the A's, of course, it happens both sides, but the A's just played in Seattle and they played in Anaheim. Foul territory, very narrow. And the ball that was just caught by Hanahan's in the seats in Anaheim. I mean, it's just those little things, and it's amazing what happens. You kind of remember, I'm home, and that's an out instead of getting another chance. That would be the case on the road.
Glad to be home, but so here's Pennington. First pitch is a strike to Pennington, hitting 220 with an RBI so far. Reddick will be next, just underway, bottom of the first inning. After the 4-3 road trip for the A's, they're 7-7 coming into tonight's action.
Well, that's big for Bob Melvin and his ball club to get back to the 500 mark, and especially starting the road trip the way they did, losing 2 of 3 against the Mariners after winning the opener of the series, and they got a chance to win the series after winning the home opener to the Mariners.
Well, you lose 2 out of 3 in Seattle, and then you go to Anaheim and you lose the first game on Monday night 6-0. We were down. We were bummed out. But they bounced right back.
That man right there, Bartolo Colon, helped in. Of course, Tyson Ross pitched very well.
Brantley calls off the shortstop for out number 2.
Tyson Ross walking out of the stadium last night. He said, I don't know what it is. Every year I get to pitch on my birthday. It'll be Sunday, the series finale. McCarthy tomorrow night. There'll be a lot of excitement tomorrow night prior to the game. As you can see right here on Comcast Sports Net California, the introduction and the celebration of the 40th anniversary. Monty Moore, of course, will be, I guess, the MC, if you will, introducing all the players, and Diamond Vision coordinate with some nice video of the players, the 72 World Series.
I walked into the ballpark today with Monty Moore, which is always a treat. He said, where's Fosse? I'm supposed to meet him. I'm looking for Fosse.
He found me.
He was looking for me. Chopper, Jimenez has it. So both pitchers have 3 up, 3 down innings in the first. Second inning coming up. No score. The A's hit 5 home runs versus the Reds in the 1972 World Series. 4 by the MVP Gene Tenace. What other player hit a home run for the A's? So Gene Tenace with 4, good enough for the MVP. Who hit the other one?
In the first game?
Not necessarily. The A's played that World Series, Ray, without Reggie Jackson, correct?
They did, and Darryl knows, I think. Reggie injured his hamstring trying to score in Detroit, final game of the League Championship Series. And remember, then there was no division series. It was a straight 5-game League Championship. So you had to win 3 of 5 to go to the World Series, and I think that was a 2-3. If I remember correctly. So he started 2 and then finished up with the 3 at home, in which that was the case for the A's.
Well, we're going to talk a lot about that series the next couple nights. Tonight, we'll concentrate on the early games in that series, including Game 1. Games 1 and 2 were played in Cincinnati. Really, all the games were 1-run games except for one.
8-0 blowout. Otherwise, it's kind of typical of the way the A's played, not only that year, but it seems like every year, winning the 3 straight. We talked about the pitching in Anaheim. It was all about the pitching also, the A's in those championship seasons. Led by the great Hall of Famer Catfish Hunter, and closed out with the great Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers.
Well, Game 1 of that series belonged to Gene Tenace. Gene Tenace hit a home run in the 2nd inning, his first at bat. And he hit a home run in the 5th inning, his 2nd at bat.
First 2 at bats in the World Series, and that was his. I think you could put a patent on that swing right there by Gene Tenace down the left field line. Did it at the Coliseum, and of course did it in Cincinnati as well.
Well, Gene Tenace hit 5 home runs that season, and he hit 4 in the World Series. But as that get into the rest of that series the next 2 nights, you realize that everybody talks about Gene Tenace's 4 home runs, but he had some huge hits in that series that weren't home runs. He clearly was well deserving of the MVP award. Travis Hafner, the hitter, after the leadoff walk to Santana.
See the delivery by Graham Godfrey, and something that a catcher can remind him, just get the elbow up. He's dropping his right arm, pushing the ball, and as a result, the pitchers are up, and these 2 are out of the strike zone. They need to get the elbow up, the arm up, and throw it down instead of pushing the ball, and they get more in the down part of the strike zone, which is what he wants.
Nice strike call to Hafner. 2-1 the count.
Got lucky with the strike, but that's flirting with danger in that zone.
Well, Indians people are telling us that Hafner looks as good as he's looked in a couple of years. Well, that would be huge for this team.
Well, if the Pronk stays healthy, the Pronk is strong. I mean, he is unbelievably strong.
That was just a bit outside. So now 3-1. Be careful here. Well, it's a big year for Hafner. The Indians have an option on him for next year for a lot of money.
The whole contract is for a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. But if he could become the power hitter that he was, well, you may want to keep him around another year. But boy, he was one of the most dangerous hitters in the American League until injuries kind of set in. 42 home runs in 2006. 3-1 pitch, just missed outside, close, but Darryl Cousins says no. So back-to-back walks here in the top of the 2nd inning.
Batting in the 6th position, left fielder.
Got had to be off the plate because that height
CLE
has been called by Darryl Cousins tonight.
Well, Ray, the Indians think that they are headed in the right direction. Last year they had a terrific first half of the season. They faded down the stretch. There was a time at the end of May that they had the best record in the major leagues. They finished, though, at 80 and 82, 15 games behind the Tigers. But they do have a fair amount of good young talent.
Well, Maniac, his third season with the Tribe, good manager. Of course, second tour, as the Nationals before, but he's a good man, good manager, and he does not take anything. He expects everybody to play hard, and they do.
Shelley Duncan gets jammed, will pop up. Pennington goes out. Infield fly rule was called, and that's out number 1.
Great location, fastball inside. Shelley Duncan has proven that he can hit home runs, and he has an excellent eye. And he's got to be really happy this weekend. And his dad and mom are in town. Dave Duncan played in the '72 World Championship team, and very good catcher. And of course, the parents of Shelley Duncan, Chris Duncan, works in St. Louis. Good to see Dunk. Power hitter. We go back all the way to 1966. Playing in the California League here in Modesto. Had a whole bunch of home runs.
So Casey Kochman steps in. Kochman signed as a free agent to play first base for the Indians. He was with the Rays last year, and the Rays brought Carlos Pena back this year. Kochman off to a slow start, though, hitting just 182. Does have a couple of home runs. As we said in our open, Joe Rudy and Raleigh Fingers will join us tonight up here in the booth. Joe will be up here soon. Get his thoughts on his first couple games of that '72 World Series. Him scaling the wall in game 2. 2-0 to Kochman. Jack Hanahan, another left-handed hitter, is in the on-deck circle. That one bounced just foul.
Fortunately, this game pace is kind of the same as it was last Sunday in Seattle. Very slow pace. I mean, you think about what Bartolo Colon did in the game in Anaheim. Talk about rapid fire. I mean, it just seemed like he couldn't wait to get the ball and get a sign and throw. But it's all about just trying to have a good pace, good working relationship, pitcher catcher, and that gets the pace of the game going. And the infielders, everybody's ready to go.
Santana at second, Hafner at first. Pickoff, and getting back is Santana. He had got a secondary lead. He was out there quite a ways. Anthony Recker took a shot.
Well, the important thing about that play, the idea of trying to pick off Santana at second, but also Cespedes was backing up in the event the ball got past Pennington. Couple of big steps, and Pennington breaking in behind him. The throw, unfortunately, to the shortstop side of second.
3-1 pitch is a changeup that floats outside, and the bases are loaded. All three guys on base via the walk. It looks like Ray kind of pushed that changeup that time.
Unfortunately, he's pushing everything, and he does drop down a little bit, but just have to get the elbow up and try to get the ball down in the strike zone.
Generally, when a pitch goes up and away to a left-handed hitter, that elbow's dropping a little bit.
Dropping, it's down, and all you can do is just push the ball towards the plate. You talk about the Indians being in Seattle and then coming down to Oakland. How about the Orioles playing in Chicago yesterday? They're at Anaheim tonight. They're going to play a 3-game series.
Batting in the 8th position, Third baseman, number 9.
Leave the state?
Jack Hanahan.
Why not stay here?
Yeah, just
Get everybody on the schedule.
start in Seattle, Oakland, Anaheim, and you got 3-game series, and you're done.
So Jack Hanahan steps in, and Indians trying to strike early here in the second inning. Hanahan rips one to right field. Reddick getting back. He's got time to grab it. Tagging up and scoring is Carlos Santana. So Hanahan does not wait around, and he gets a sacrifice fly.
That's pretty good hitting, because as a hitter, you see a pitcher struggling to throw strikes. And the one thing you look for is a fastball in your zone, and you don't wait around. And he got it. Belt high. Not a lot of velocity, and I guess the A's are fortunate. It's just a sac fly. Josh Reddick played it perfectly.
So Hafner stayed at second. Kochman still at first. 2 outs for the 9th place hitter. It's Jason Donald. First pitch to Donald is a breaking ball that stays high. Godfrey with 3 walks in the inning.
Donald getting a chance to play at short is Dribble Cabrera on the bereavement list.
Maybe it was his grandfather that passed away in Venezuela. And it doesn't sound like Cabrera will be with the Indians at any point this weekend. That's what I was
Tuesday, I think.
Back at home, maybe.
Jason Donald, a good guy to step in. To the shoes of Cabrera.
.238 with 3 RBIs for shortstop Jason Donald. And that one is looped, caught in the air. Side retired, but a run on no hits for the Indians. We're going to talk to the man, Joe Rudy, when we come back. He's here, folks. Home runs versus the Reds in the 72 series. 4 by Gene Tennis. One other player hit the other home run for the A's. It was our guest, Joe Rudy. He did it in game 2, and it was off of?
Oh, boy. Right-handed pitcher, and I can't remember.
Ross Grimsley?
They just
lefty. Excuse me. Right,
see, if you'd had your glasses on, you could have read that.
I could have read
just
that.
asked if you needed your glasses.
I know it. I should have kept them on. That's right.
Well, Joe, thanks for joining us. I know it's always great to see lots of old friends and teammates and celebrating what was a terrific season that ended in the World Series championship.
Awesome time, and good to see the guys. A lot of them you haven't seen in 10 years or more. Saw Catfish on his wife coming back out. Helen and your youngest boy. It's
good turnout for the foundation. I know that you guys were out signing autographs for the Catfish Hunter ALS Foundation.
Yep. Terrible disease. I wish we could figure out how to get rid of that one.
Well, it's unfortunate. Hit one of the greatest guys in the world too. Catfish. Nobody better than Catfish Hunter.
Great guys. Think of anybody you'd like to spend time with, hunting, fishing, talking, drinking, whatever, and he'd be at the top of your list.
And with Catfish, every time the season ended, you'd head back to Hertford, North Carolina.
Yep.
And no matter what happened or where he was playing, he went back home.
Yeah, that's on my bucket list. I'm going to make it back there one of these days. I've never been there. So we got Sean, our youngest guy, is back in Columbia back there now. So when we go visit him, I think we're going to rent a car and go up and see what Hereford's all about.
I've been there.
Have you been there?
Yahoo! No, it's a great place. Yeah, I was fortunate to go out and do a lengthy interview with Catfish.
Wow.
And actually, when he had the terrible disease, but got a chance to see the cornfields and the farm of Cat and Helen, the kids.
Hard to get that out of your blood.
You have a chance, you should go there. But.
Yeah, I will.
Does it seem like 40 years, Joe?
I tell you what, I got that invitation in the mail from the A's this year, and I looked at that and I go, 40 years? Holy mackerel, that made me feel old. That was just hard to believe it was 40 years. It really does not seem like 40 years. I mean, every time I come here, it's like I was here yesterday. I mean, you look at the field, it looks gorgeous. The grass is just beautiful.
Well, that was the final in Game 1. The A's 3-2. What a surprise, a one-run win. Joe, we showed Gene Tennis's home runs, a guy who hit just 5 during the regular season. He ends up hitting 4 in the World Series. And he was a pretty good hitter, but did his performance in that series, starting with Game 1, did that catch you guys off guard a little bit?
Yeah, well, it really did. We had no basis to think of anything that was going to happen out of the ordinary. And, he comes up there the first game and bang, bang, 2 home runs. And we go, holy smokes. And, he stayed hot. He got some other key hits for us and drove in big runs. And he just had one of those magical World Series.
The strange thing about the box score and showing it, see blue with a save.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know what happened with the plumbing salesman.
I was going to say, selling toilets and stuff didn't last too long. So
that was funny. Vida, of course, we'll talk to him tomorrow night. We always remind him of his contract dispute with the late great Charlie Finley, and decided he was going to hang him up and work in the plumbing business.
Yeah, that was a classic.
Yeah, it was a classic.
Well, Joe, Game 1, you guys win. Game 2 was sort of the Joe Rudy game. You had the home run, and then you had the memorable catch up against the wall. Tell us what you remember most about Game 2, where you guys won another one-run game.
Well, I think the catch sticks out in my mind more than anything. It's just it's such a magical time, especially because I had worked on that play so many times trying to learn how to play outfield with Joe DiMaggio, because DiMaggio was a pinch coach with us in 68 and 69, and I was just literally going from the infield to the outfield. And I was lost out there. And fortunately, we had Bob Kennedy was a manager. And every day he hit me a half hour of fly balls, no matter if it was a doubleheader day game after a night game. And Joe D would be standing out in the outfield out there telling about footwork and how to break on the ball and what to look for. And it was just really like deja vu. And that ball went out. And I made that play 1,000 times with him out there.
And the Reds didn't think you caught it, right?
Well, because he taught me when you go up against the wall like that, because I banged into the wall really hard. And made pretty loud noise, and when you catch a ball against the wall, they taught you to roll your hand.
Well, you talk about it. Here it is. Delaire's got it. He's going to get a chance to see the great catch.
Yeah, so you can see the ball in my glove when I turned it there, because you got to roll your glove over to keep the fence from knocking the ball out of your glove. So if you keep the glove facing the infield, the wall is going to knock the ball out of your glove. And so that's one of the first things that Jody taught us, was to catch the ball like that and roll your hand. So Sparky came out and said that it sounded like the ball hit the wall and didn't hit my glove. And so he didn't win that argument. Fortunately, we had the umpires down the line.
Yes, that's true. That whole talking, it sounds a little strange. Joe DiMaggio talking outfield.
He was great.
I know he was, but of course one of the greatest hitters ever, and
he was so different from his public persona. He was such a prankster and jokester, and it was just, you had to be careful where you walked and where you sat down at, because he was around literally. A great guy. I really, really liked him.
See the coach as the manager. Dick Williams wearing white caps, and you guys had the white shoes, but the coaching staff and manager all had the white. Is that so you knew who they were?
I guess so. I was just so happy when they did away with the all yellow and the all green.
That's amazing.
You know, I forget when we had Jumbo Jim Nash wearing all yellow. He looked like Big Bird out there. That was too much.
The thing about Charlie, though, he's a little superstitious. If you won a game in the whole all gold or all green, you'd wear it every day.
Oh, my goodness.
And you'd walk in, there's Frank Sinchek with the uniforms. Oh, not again today.
You never knew what you were going to wear.
That's right.
It was hanging in your locker, and that was it.
Joe, one of the things, and Kite mentioned the one-run games. How did you guys play during the season as far as the type of games? You had great pitching, I know. But how were the games as far as close games, so that as you went into the World Series and you had one-run games, no big deal?
We really were. I mean, back then, you know, the ballpark was so much different than it is now. I mean, it was a very heavy air here. I think the population has, with the heat, the atmosphere has made a big difference. And so we were so used to playing those tight ball games. We had great pitching, and you know, Dick Williams really was so intense on fundamental baseball and not making errors, you know, getting runners over, and we played one run at a time.
Well, look at this young look. You're playing weight right now. You look the same, Joe.
I wish.
Well, you could hit. That's a great stance.
Well, fortunately, I had a strong right hand.
Oh, man.
Well, that was in the third inning.
Yeah.
And you guys had a 2-0 lead, and the Reds scored a run in the bottom of the ninth, right? But you guys had to hang on, and Raleigh got the final out.
Yep. Yeah, it was some tough games, but we really did play a lot of games. I think we had, I don't know, 4, 5, 6, 3-2 games in that series. And
there's an 8-0 game. The rest of them are one-run games.
Yeah, the rest of them
just
were
one run.
Yeah, it's amazing.
And that's what surprised me when I was traded over here. That played the same way during the season, and postseason the same way. But it seemed like you guys were so good. Catfish is on the mound, and he said, give me one run, you give him one run. Needed two, you get two. I mean, it's just almost like the offense could kind of dictate how many runs they were going to score because of great pitching.
It's the key of the game was great pitching, and we had good defense. Like I said, the ball, you know, the grass was a lot heavier, and the ball didn't jump out of here like it does now. And so you had to play one-run games, and we just had an awful lot of those, 4-3, 3-2, 2-1s. Yeah. And you learn how to do, play one run at a time. You don't sit out there with two guys and swinging for the fences now.
Joe, if any of the players, the position players, are listening to you saying the ball carries better now, they will dispute that in a heartbeat.
I wish I could put them in a time capsule and put them back in our day. I mean, I could count on one hand the ball that went out in dead center field in all the years I played here. I mean, at night game, you did not. I mean, I bet you I didn't see 5 balls go out of here in 9 years. They just did not carry out of here. And,
well, it was much nicer before Mount Davis was built, as you well know. Seeing that
it totally changed the whole outlook. I played center field a few times, and I've said this before. You stand out there in deep center field, and you pick up grass and throw it up in the air, and it would blow straight down. And if the ball was hit from the steps to the flagpole, the ball jumped out of here. From the steps to center field, it was like it hit a wall. And it was really tough to hit a ball out of here at night. I don't think you could find any player that played back in those days, whether for the A's or any team that came in here and played, that wouldn't bitch about the heavy grass on the infield. Yeah. I mean, if you hit a ball that bounced twice on the infield grass, it was lucky to get to the outfield grass. I'm serious. That's how heavy it was. And you and I have talked about it many times. The ball was rolling to me in left field, a base hit between third and short, and the ball was so wet I could barely throw it back to Campy. It was a trail of water was spinning off of it just a night like this, and it was so wet here.
Well, you have to talk to Clay Wood, great head groundskeeper, because this is under sea level. The stadium, all his years, has been under sea level, so the tide comes in, and that's what would happen.
Yeah, it was just really wet, heavy balls. But the game changes. They've done a lot to put more activity in the game and try to get fans' interest, and they like to see the ball go out of the ballpark.
Yeah. Except the pitchers like this foul territory here at the Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
You know that.
Yeah, Grand Canyon.
Or as, what did Sal call it?
The Mausoleum. Well, they have added a lot of color these days. Back then, everything was green and then gray concrete.
Faded green.
And
orange.
That's right. Good memories.
Yeah, great memories. And listen, when you win, they're always great memories.
When you're this far away from the home plate, you look like you want to get up there and get a bat. But for some reason, you get down closer to home plate, the ball looks like it moves a lot faster.
Joey, it's amazing how easy it looks from up here.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah. Well, at least the guy's got a good number up there. Who's hitting? I don't have my glasses on. I can't see.
Anthony Rick, I can't believe that number's not retired.
I can't believe what's wrong with these people.
Now, if he gets a hit, now we got something
That's
to talk
right.
about.
Come on.
Listen, if Joe was in there, that would be a hit, and the A's would be leading 2-1 right now.
I wish I could hit all the time like I did with men on base. Different level of concentration.
The stance that we saw, Joe, and you had that exaggerated close stance, was that a result of Charlie Lau?
It really was. Charlie, when I first, early in my career, I stood right on top of home plate, used a little bitty bat, and, I just hit foul ball after foul ball. And basically he said, look, let's take your slice of pie from down the left field line and try to put it over here in right center. And literally all he did was just close me up and say, okay, now instead of trying to hit everything down the left field line, let's hit it over there. And that made all the difference in my career, really. It helped me stay in on the curveball and the off-speed pitches. And
well, this is a classic. And Joe Rudy, no doubt, when he come back and play in retired players' games, that stance, and you would hit balls unbelievably. But your top hand, your right hand, just crushed it. You can still hit right now.
Yeah, I wish. It hurts too much to swing.
Don't we all?
Now, Joe, you guys lost Reggie in the series before that, and I think a lot of people felt like, hey, the Reds are the favorites, A's are the underdogs. What were you guys thinking as far as, did you take exception to that a little bit, and how much concern was there playing without Reggie?
Well, we were all concerned because Reggie was really, our big stick at the time. But I think we were so happy to be there, and it happens. We had such a tough series with the Detroit Tiger team, winning there and then going right into the World Series. You really didn't have a whole lot of time to think or to read the press. And back then, we didn't have the coverage we have today. So you don't, unless you, really paid attention on purpose, you didn't read all the bad things that we were going to get squashed. But, a lot of those players are Hall of Fame players. We grew up, they were older than we were. We watched a lot of those kids when we were still in the minor leagues. And they were a great team. Unfortunately, we had a great pitching staff and good defense. And we just got a timely hit here and there.
And I looked at the play-by-play and box scores of all the games, and it just looked like when you guys needed to get a big out, the pitchers made the pitch and got a strikeout.
Amazing. It was amazing. The guy that I think doesn't get talked enough about all these years is Ken Oldsman, because he came over and joined us in '72 and won 60 games.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, Joe, thanks for joining us. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, okay?
I'm looking forward to it. Thank
Joe
you
Rudy,
much.
one of the stars from the 1972 World Series winning Athletics.
Yes.
by Wendy's. Taste the original Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich with a whole breast filet and our special blend of 7 tasty spices. Indians with a 1-0 lead over the A's. It is the top of the 3rd inning. The A's had the bases loaded in the 2nd, could not get a run across. But it was still a good half inning. Talking to Joe Rudi, one of the nicest men you'll ever meet.
Really on those clubs too, probably the most underrated player on the club. There's a lot of talk, of course, about Reggie and the pitching staff. You know, the great pitchers who won 20 games, but Joe just went out and played the game, played it the right way, played it hard, and had a lot of success. And probably could have gotten a lot more credit, or should have gotten more. Of course, when the players kind of went their own way after free agency came into play, it just was different. Joe went to the Angels, Sal to Milwaukee, Reggie, of course, to New York.
So he was Mr. Clutch, though, huh?
There's no doubt. Reggie, of course, Mr. October for a reason, because he always had the big stage and bright lights, and Reggie came through big time. But Joe just, in his own way, just very quiet, did the job. And made himself a great left fielder, too, by the way he was talking about with Joe DiMaggio. Well, Joshua does it again, huh?
So he left the A's, signed with the Angels, free agent contract, and then I believe he was traded from the Angels to the Red Sox. Is that right?
Yes. So, and he, you know, those guys could have stayed together if Mr. Finley had just said, okay, I'm going to give you a long-term deal. And they did not want all the money to stay together.
Number 22, Jason Kipnis.
Well, we tell the story when we talk about Joe Rudi, but at the stadium in Anaheim, they have pictures next to our broadcast booth of Angels players that were on the cover of Sports Illustrated. And Joe Rudi was on the cover, and the title was $2 Million Man, right?
That's right.
And that was how much he got to sign as a free agent with the Angels. I don't know how long the deal was, maybe 4 or 5 years.
It's 5 years. Yeah.
$2 Million Man. That's minimum wage in baseball.
It's a little bit more than that is the average. Well, 4 walks for Graham Godfrey, and he's actually got a no-hitter. His pitch count's getting up, and he's putting the runners on base via the walk.
One to Kipnis. Also in the left field. Smith going back, still going back, and he reaches out right at the last minute. And he makes the catch, and hustling back is Brantley to first. Well, Smith never looked real comfortable going after that one, and right at the last minute, caught it about knee high.
Well, a left-handed hitter, the ball's going to slice away from the left fielder. See the way Kipnis swung, kind of an inside-out swing, so the ball started to sink, slice towards the foul line. And Seth Smith, who has played the outfield, of course, with the Rockies, right field and left field, and able to reach out and catch the ball. But that was a little scary.
Here's Chu.
Right hitter hitting the ball to right field. It was sliced towards the right field line. That's why the center fielder with the ball straight at him, it doesn't have any of that action. Slicing either way. That's why it's always a tough play for a center fielder to determine how hard the ball has been hit.
Keep an eye on Brantley. A little bit of a base stealer. Had 13 steals last year. Chu struck out looking in the first inning. On the outside corner 0-2. Chu did not liked the call in the first inning, and I don't think he liked that call by Hero Cousins.
Actually, it's a pretty good pitch. It hit to left field, but he's thinking about pulling the ball. At least he didn't on that one. And the ball just tailing away from him towards the outside part of the plate. And when you're thinking pull, get a pitch like that, you're not going to be able to pull the trigger.
So 1-2 now to Chu, with Carlos Santana waiting in the on-deck circle. Apparently with a pretty good lead at first. .46 pitches thrown by Graham Godfrey so far. And again, really, Ray, these two guys just don't look comfortable.
Well,
just like they did
last Sunday.
Last Sunday.
And this is something, too, without a runner at second base. It should be, in the case of, if you put down a sign the pitcher doesn't want it, just keep putting the signs down. We saw Montero do that with Seattle, and then to Noesi finally said, yeah, I like this one. And sometimes you just do that.
So 1-2 is the count. That one bouncing. Nice play by Kaihui out at second and out at first. Godfrey got over there. And that is a very, very difficult double play to turn, and the A's did it. 3-6-1. Bottom of the third coming up.
Time now for the forward right choice. How about a 3-6-1 double play? Kaihui, a great throw to shortstop, and Cliff Pennington back to the pitcher covering. And Graham Godfrey, boy, you have to become an infielder, especially see the first baseman make the play. And Graham Godfrey got over, put his foot on the bag, stretched, and got a very fast runner in Chu. A double play.
Bottom of the third. Going to be the top of the order for the A's. So I didn't ask you, did you get enough sleep last night?
No.
As we both yawned. So the A's touched down in Oakland. Was it about 1:30?
Yeah, something like that.
After 1 o'clock, it just didn't matter. But it was about 1:30. I pulled into my garage at about 2:15.
Kaihui, playing at first base back-to-back games, really did a good job of clearing the path so he could throw around Brantley, and there's the return throw, and the first base umpire Eric Foster got it correctly as the foot of Godfrey on the bag plenty of time.
But I got a first grader who heads out of the house at 7:30, and I haven't seen him in a week, right? So I'm going to see him. So I'm going to get up early.
So he got you up early then, right?
Yeah, I got up. I want to see him. Man. Sleeping in would have been a nice idea. Some things are more important.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's a liner. What a catch by Donald. He timed it perfect. Finishes it off with a snow cone. And that's out number 1.
Clovis, California for Jason Donald. And when you talk about timing, this is what you have to do as an infielder. And ball hit pretty hard by Jamal Weeks. And Jason Donald, with the snow cone. Boy, that is a vanilla cone right there. The snow cone right at the tip of the glove. He used every bit of the smaller infielder's type glove. And as he hit the ground hard, able to hang on. Nice play.
On the ground toward Kipnis. Pennington is retired, 2 outs. So Ubaldo Jimenez has had some trouble. That was in the second inning. He got out of that. He had a 3-up, 2-down first inning. Remember the start Ubaldo Jimenez had? When I say start, meaning start to the season. Was it 2010? Was he 15-2?
On the break.
And watching him pitch, you just couldn't imagine how anybody could beat him. I mean, he was sensational. He ended up starting the All-Star game that year. He finished the year 19-8. It was the beginning of the year, first half. He was unbelievable. He tailed off quite a bit in the second half. And then last year, he got traded.
And signed one of those contracts that looked good probably when he signed it for a few years and good money. And
I believe we're tied. And we are. Josh Reddick, home run, 1-1 game.
There it is, WWF. He crushed a curveball in 1989 in the 4-on Bashers. They brought it back. Josh Reddick, his second. George Sherrill, the lefty, the curveball, and the righty Ubaldo Jimenez got the same curveball, and man, did he crush it.
So for Reddick, his second home run of the year, and here's Cespedes. What I like about Reddick, Ray, is when he sees a pitch that he likes, he takes a rip at it. Does not get cheated. That's it. Soft liner into right field. Cespedes has a base hit.
Jimenez, and you just sometimes try to pick up the ball, and sometimes you just react. And there's Uncle Charlie, belt high, and Reddick at about 85 miles per hour got the curveball, and no doubter down the right field line. Sounded great. Finish was even better. Boy, Joe Rudy said ball might not carry well, but sometimes when the ball is hit like that, it doesn't matter where it's hit. What time of the day or night, Chili Davis happy to see his young lefty get into a good curveball, hanging curveball, and crushed it.
Right back to Ubaldo Jimenez, flips to first, side retired, but the A's are on the board thanks to Josh Reddick, solo home run to right field. It was so good. our Subway Eat Fresh Ask Glenn and Ray question. Log on to csncalifornia.com to post your question.
Yoenis Cespedes.
Marie from Sacramento asks, why does Josh Reddick wear a mouthguard on the field? And the answer is Yoenis Cespedes.
Oh, I thought we were still trying to pronounce his name.
Ray, that makes no sense.
No, there it is.
All right. So that's a good question. Why does he wear a mouthguard when he's out in the field? And Ray, you know why, right?
Something to do with the filling.
Filling in his tooth came loose when he was in Japan. He had the guard in when he was hit in the jaw by the pitch from Harris, the left hand. Last homestand that happened. Luckily, he had it in. But filling out in Japan, mouth guard in.
Well, he likes to chew gum and obviously eat sunflower seeds, as he's showing right now. And it's kind of hard to do that with a filling that's about to fall out, especially if you're chewing gum.
Ouch.
And filling goes bye-bye, and it's not going to stick in there. It's a great Monty Moore right there.
Monty here.
Monty Moore.
Our hero.
That's right. Got that big 46-inch HD television so he can watch all the games right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Yeah, Monty said even we look good in HD.
If I could have like a third of the career that Monty Moore had, I'd be the happiest man.
Yeah.
It's good to see Monty Moore. He's having a ball this weekend, I'm sure.
First thing, John Trinidad went over to the radio. John Trinidad said, remember when Monty had the big dinger in the booth and they turned back the clock?
May have been our favorite
That's
moment.
right. That's no doubt.
Was that last year?
A couple years ago.
No, it was 2 years ago.
That's when you were dressing like, what was that?
When I was embarrassing myself. 2010. I think it was, it may have been the best moment of the year.
Turn back the clock. You had that.
Two outs, nobody on.
Well, we both had those gold jersey, our jackets on. And Monty was showing off the huge. I mean, Monty was the creator of home runs called dingers. And
Now
there's the Monty Moore right there, right above BI.
Travis Hafner.
Well, the broadcaster, and of course, he was in Kansas City and brought the Kansas City Athletics out to Oakland. White shoes and all. And Monty broadcast all the games.
So you think Monty's a man of detail, which we know that he is. So I was walking in with him today, and I asked him, how was your trip? He said, good. I said, well, how long does it take? He said, 4 hours and 1 minute, 289 miles. Okay.
And I know I have made that drive to go play in his golf tournament when he had it, Porterville.
And it's 289 miles.
Yes, and it's a long way, but it's worth it to drive down and play in Monty's golf tournament.
So he explained to me exactly where Porterville is, just southeast of Fresno.
That's right. Well, the amazing thing that I'd leave it about 4 in the morning to drive down there and go over the Altamont and see all the cars heading to the Bay Area to go to work. And I went,
You were at least going in the right direction.
Yes.
Hafner, another fly ball left field, and it's a very long run. So good.
Great effort.
Dig it hard.
Great effort. He's the third baseman playing the shortstop position, and
Pennington's looking at him like, what the heck are you doing?
and that's about a 50-yard dash, and there's no way he was going to get to it. I mean, but what a great effort, and he should have just stopped and sat down and caught his breath.
There's another foul ball left in Hafner, too. Close pitch. Could have been called a strike. Probably should have been called a strike. 2-2.
Well, the target's inside. Watch the ball tail away, and Anthony Recker, good job keeping the ball in the strike zone, framing, holding it, upsetting the umpire by holding the mid as long as he did.
After a big swing, got a pitch out over the plate. 2-2 the count. Raleigh Figures is going to join us in a couple innings.
Travis Hafner, a healthy Travis Hafner, no stride, did not lift the front foot, but very strong upper body.
Shot, base hit center field through the shift. So Hafner with an aggressive turn. He's got a 1-out single. He's been on base twice. 59 pitches for Godfrey.
Now batting.
Exactly where Recker had set up, and that's exactly where Gronk hit the ball. And that into the shift, through the shift to the left.
So the no-hitter's gone.
Cespedes a good job tracking it down. Pronk's not going to call him Pronk. His name is Travis Hafner, but nicknamed it Pronk.
It's the Cleveland Indian. Here's Shelly Duncan. That was the first hit. And she forgot about that since Godfrey has walked 4, so there's been some Indians base running. Duncan popped out to the shortstop. He did that with 2 on and nobody out in the second inning. Good breaking ball, but misses outside. Godfrey, seen him do that a couple times in this inning. Standing there looking in, he thought that may have been a strike. Is a strikeout, 2-0, 90 miles an hour.
Shelly Duncan, a very, very big September last year, 2011. 7 home runs in the last month of the season. I like the fact that he can play the outfield. He's first baseman, DH, very powerful hitter.
Two now to Shelly Duncan. Of course, the Indians signed Johnny Damon earlier this week, and at some point soon, Damon is going to be in the lineup, and he's probably going to play left field, and that is where Duncan is playing tonight. Breaking ball, down and away, 3-2.
I saw how Mike Scioscia, the manager of the Angels, had to look at his roster of players, all pretty much everyday players, and it's tough on a manager at times to try to get playing time for everybody, and this is important to keep everybody happy. I just feel they should be playing every day and then become part-time players. Thing is, Shelly Duncan has produced. That's the amazing thing. And Johnny Damon has not played a lot of outfield lately. He's been more of a DH as he was last year with the Rays. 3-2 on Shelly Duncan, and as mentioned before, he is a very good eye this season, walking.
And that pitch just a shade low. Godfrey a little frustrated again.
Well, tomorrow's the big day. Come to the Coliseum when the A's celebrate the 40th anniversary of their 72 World Series championship. 10,000 fans will receive a Raleigh Fingers bobblehead, and it's a good one, folks. Presented by Comcast Sportsnet in California. Be part of the reunion and celebrate the Bay Area's first world title. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Raleigh with the trophy, 1972. It's a very cool trophy.
It's a great trophy, and to think when the Haas family purchased the club from Mr. Charles O. Finley, the 3 trophies were used as bookends. They took over. But they were good-looking bookends in the offices of Charles O. Finley. Possessed 2 people. That's about it. Very, very small front office on the A's in the early 70s.
First pitch to Kochman and rolled foul. So Graham Godfrey has walked 5 now in 3 1/3 innings.
You ask him, he probably says maybe 2, because he walked a couple he probably thought should have been called strikes.
There's the umpiring crew. Runs inside, 1-1 the count. The Angels are winning tonight 3-1 in the 4th inning over the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles setting the young lefty Brian Mattis to the mound against Jerome Williams. The Angels trying to get back to winning. They are 4-9. The Rangers got rained out in Detroit. Makeup date is tomorrow, so a doubleheader tomorrow. Tigers and the Rangers. Got to be a day-nighter, huh? You would think.
American Park, pretty good chance. Yes, and BI just confirmed that.
And the White Sox leading the Mariners 6-0 in the third inning. Chris Sale, the lefty for the White Sox. Hector Noesi started that game. White Sox scoring early and often.
It's the same noise. He had 14 fly ball outs last Saturday against the A's.
Huh. And Chris Sale in the rotation this year for the White Sox. A big, tall left-hander, which is pretty tough out of the bullpen. He's in the rotation. Jordan Alberto hanging out.
Good last night. One of the guys coming out of the bullpen against the Angels.
Kochman chased a high fastball, and that's strikeout number 2 for Godfrey.
Well, definitely out of the strike zone, but Kochman saw a fastball and thought he could
number 9,
go up on his toes and try to catch up to it, and a little bit tough.
So 2 on, 2 out for Jack Hanahan, who has the only RBI in the game for the Indians. It was a sacrifice fly in the second inning.
Two pretty good bats for him last night. His last one in Seattle, first one tonight here.
There's Jack with the Athletics in 2007, 2008, 2009. Went to Seattle back into the 2009 season.
That's Scotty Sizemore, and we wish him the best as he is going to be out for the season with knee surgery for the Tigers. Jack was great. Very solid third base and gave up some big hits. Getting a big chance to play in Cleveland. Played himself into the lineup for Manny Acta, and defense a big part of it. Of course, coming through as he did last night, already tonight, some pretty good hits.
Played 110 games last year, hit 250, knocked in 40 runs. And that one is lined, and that's going to be trouble. It's going to head into the corner. Hafner's going to score. Shelley Duncan digging around third. He's a big guy, but he's going to make it all the way around, and it's a 2-run, 2-out double for Jack Hanahan. 3-1 Indians.
Hanging curveball, and Jack Hanahan pulled a fastball his last at bat. First pitch fastball. This a hanger to the outside part of the plate, and that had hit me all over it. And Jack Hanahan took it to the opposite field, sliced it, and with 2 outs, we've seen the aggressiveness of Mike Gallego, third base coach, send runners from first base, and 2 outs, you almost have to. Fortunately for the A's, could not get it back in, so a couple of walks have scored tonight. 2 of the 5 have scored.
So Hanahan now 11 RBIs on the year, and that's the reason why. 6 for 10 with runners in scoring position.
He scored from second. He could have walked home. That was breathing heavily.
1-2 to Jason Donald. Saw a highlight, Ray, from the Angels game today. Under Pujols in his first at bat. And a fly ball to the wall in left field. Caught. He got to first base, put up his hands. He's getting closer. That's probably no consolation to him. Godfrey gets the strikeout, but Jack Hanahan with a 2-run double. It's 3-1 Indians. And the Indians will play Game 2 of this 3-game series. We'll have it all covered. The on-field 1972 World Series reunion ceremonies as it happens. Also, Brandon McCarthy will face Jedmar Gomez. Now, write those numbers down right there, folks, so you know where to find Comcast Sportsnet Plus, the standard channels and the high-def channels. If you have any questions, log on to csncalifornia.com. A's baseball is Comcast Sportsnet, so we're on Plus tomorrow. And our coverage starts at 5:30. Ball game starts at 6:05. Lots of pregame ceremony. Johnny Gomes steps in. Gomes had a base hit in the second inning. He's with 3 hits in the game. Indians with 2. Indians lead 3-1. Not close on 3-0. So that will probably drive the manager and the pitching coach crazy.
But we'll tell you this, A's fans. Come to the Coliseum this Sunday. The A's play the Indians. 7,500 kids will receive an A's mini license plate driven by Chevrolet. Let the kids show they're the #1 A's fan on the block. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets. 4-pitch walk after a 2-run double by your third baseman. No, that does not help. If your manager pitching coach.
Yeah.
The pitch is not even close.
Kaiue steps in. Grounded out in the second inning. Now 8 for 20 here. That's a shot right at the first baseman, Kochman, who steps on the bag, and it's a double play. Not a thing you can do about it.
Nope. That's Kaiue, after 5 pitches, not even close, just slammed it, but Johnny Gomes just getting his normal lead off first base. And with the swing, he was hoping they would get past Kochman, head down to the corner where he might be able to score, but instead he doubled off, and that quickly back in the dugout. So in this inning, 5 pitches, 4 balls, and 2 outs.
More strikes than outs. There's a base hit for Anthony Recker. He goes the other way. Recker gets his first hit here in 2012. He's got a new pitcher. His name is Rich Thompson. He was put on waivers by the Angels just a couple of days ago, I believe. And the A's picked him up. So he's in the bullpen.
Grant Balfour and Rich Thompson, a couple of Aussies, and Grant said that if there was any problem, he would be the interpreter. If the two of them got together and started talking.
That would be a lot of fun. Neil Wagner was sent back to AAA Sacramento. So Rich Thompson, a right-hander, he's in the A's bullpen. Sogard struck out looking with the bases loaded his first at bat.
Rich Thompson, the chance to sit down in the visiting bullpen here at the Coliseum with just a little 2x10 over the top of the head. Now he gets to do it on the home side. Same exact same thing.
Another off-speed pitch, misses badly, 2-1. All right, we were talking about Jimenez in that 2010 season. He was terrific. And watching him pitch that year, he was throwing 98 miles an hour. And he had a splitter that was about 92. And he was really hard to hit. He threw a no-hitter.
Yes, he did.
And now you watch him pitch, and he throws a lot of off-speed pitches. That one at 90 miles an hour, it's outside for the walk.
Well, you think about the 4-pitch walk, line drive for a double play, and for Jimenez, the fastball over 50%. He throws a change line with a curveball. The fastball is number 1 pitch, and so far in this game, number 1 pitch, the fastball, has not been thrown with a lot of control. Whole bunch of walks in this inning. Scott Medeski, pitching coach.
Well, Godfrey has walked 5. Jimenez has walked 4. So neither guy really putting on a clinic tonight.
And making home plate umpire Darryl Cousins very unhappy.
And we saw a clinic earlier this week.
This is not clinic. It is the clinic of how not to pitch. And it brings up a point, because remember when Bartolo Colon pitched in Anaheim, of course, the 38 consecutive strikes. Marvin Hudson behind the plate. That's a game. As an umpire, you got to be saying, swing the bat, guys. Anything closer to strike, because these guys are on strike zone. But from Darryl Cousins' standpoint tonight, it's hard for him to help a pitcher, whether it's Jimenez or Godfrey, because neither one have been around the plate.
And don't you think most umpires, they're looking for strikes?
Absolutely.
They're not looking for ball. They're looking to call strike.
And that guy threw him. Total Colon, 8 innings. He was rapid fire. 15 innings of shutout baseball for the A's right-hander.
Inside corner. And you've walked 4, you're not going to get there.
And you know what? I'll be honest with you. When I was fortunate to catch the guys the 73 season, I would have umpires tell me, Catfish is pitching for this is going to be a great game. And it's going to be quick. And just automatic reputation shows that they're around the strike, around the plate, they're going to be strikes.
Shelley Duncan near the line. He's got it. A strand a pair. So we're through 4. It's the Indians 3 and the Athletics 1. California is brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. Swing away for big league cash only at Cache Creek. Visit CacheCreek.com for details. That's a pretty shot. The Indians with a 3-1 lead over the A's. It's the top of the 5th inning. It's just a beautiful night for baseball. Friday night. Top of the order for the Tribe, Brantley, Kipnis, and Chu.
We work on Mendoza line first.
I'll give you one, and that's it. No more. Yeah, he's not going to share a lot of that. So 0-2 to Brantley.
All these pitches thrown out of the strike zone, counted 152 pitches thrown between the two pitchers in 4 innings, and Brantley and Chu probably have had ones closer than anybody.
That one's hit to center field. Cespedes gets back. He's got it. So Brantley is retired. That's out number 1 here in the 5th.
Now batting, number 22.
Cespedes getting a good read on this ball, hit directly at him off the bat of Brantley, and it's good to see.
Here's Kipnis. Jason Kipnis. Indians are very high on this young man. I think he has a chance to be their second baseman for a long time. Second round pick in 2009. Really was not in minor leagues very long. Played in 36 games last year for the Indians. So what they saw last year, and he was the starting second baseman this year. Hits it right in the back, 3-0.
It's not a walk.
Nope. But a base runner.
You see the reaction by Graham Godfrey. This was unintentional. He's trying to throw it right down the middle of the plate, and
Now batting, number 17.
So 1 out base runner, Kipnis here in the 5th, and that'll bring up Chu. The Indians are probably saying we've had enough walls already this year. They had a big one with the Royals. Chu was part of that. Hit by a pitch.
Jonathan Sanchez hit him last year. Broke his hand when he was with the Giants in interleague play.
Hit him again.
Just so happened this year he hit him again, and
Kipnis takes off, and he's going to beat the throw. Well, he did the right thing. He put his head down and took off for second.
I think he took off even before the throw was made. And he did. And at the time Kyle Hui threw to second base, there was no chance. So that's an easy stolen base.
So second steal for Kipnis, and now he's in scoring position. 0-1 to Chu. That's line, and that's going to be a base hit. Kipnis read it well. He's coming home. Reddick's throw is there, and he's in there. Just gets ahead of the tag by Recker. And it's 4-1 Indians. Sensational throw by Reddick. And Recker put the tag down, but Kipnis just got in there.
Oh, Reddick could not do it any better than what he just displayed. Great arm. We've seen it already in this young season. A strong, perfect throw. And I think if Anthony Recker, well, he had the left foot there trying to block him off and make the swipe tag. Had to go get the ball and then bring the tag back, but good slide by Kipnis going around with the head first slide and with the hand touching the plate. Recker with the left foot on the plate trying to block him off if that was the case, but he went around the foot and got his left hand in the back of the plate. Of course, on the throw, on it goes to second base, but I think the word has gotten out that Josh Reddick can throw. In the scouting report, no doubt, the advanced scout watched the A's down in Anaheim as Jerry Blevins gets loose. Actually, the Cleveland scout was watching the A's in Seattle and Anaheim, so the report given to the Indians. It's ridiculous. Ridiculous.
I like it. So the RBI for Chu, his 9th. Here's Santana. Strike on the inside corner to Carlos Santana. Walk and a run scored in the 2nd inning and a fly ball to left in the 4th. Santana, the cleanup hitter. sort of been the off season and really the beginning of the season, kind of the year of extensions. A lot of teams giving out extensions to younger players or players headed for free agency. Carlos Santana is one of those guys. He got a 5-year extension for the Indians. He grounds out there, moving Chu to third with 2 outs.
Well, the Indians, the first club to really start signing players to avoid arbitration back in the 90s. Signed a lot of the players to
number 48,
really make the players happy, but also get some cost certainty and avoid some of the high arbitration prices.
Santana's deal, 5 years, $21 million, and it's a contract that goes through his arbitration years, and I believe one of his free agent years. I think Sandy Alomar got one of those kind of contracts.
He is good. He actually interviewed this offseason for several managerial positions that were available.
Hafner gets hit. So Godfrey continues to struggle with his control. He's walked 5 and hit 2.
Well, he was an all-star with the Cleveland Indians during the 90s, where it seemed like every time the Indians played, they won. Whether it's at Jacobs Field, that's what it was called then, or on the road.
CLE Duncan.
Sandy, one of the taller catchers, but boy, he could do the job behind the plate. And his brother Roberto, proudly in the Hall of Fame, and Sandy was there last year at Cooperstown when Roberto Alomar was enshrined at Cooperstown. Very deserving. Second year, probably should have gone first ballot.
Runners at the corners. Here's Shelley Duncan. Big at bat here. Godfrey cannot let this game get any further out of reach. It's still only the 5th inning. It's only a 3-run game. Slider first strike. White Sox still leading the Mariners 6-1 now. That game in the 5th inning. Angels 3, Orioles 1. Top of the 6th. Breaking ball, outside corner strike, 1-2. Duncan walked in the 4th inning and then scored from first on Hanahan's double. Raleigh Fingers will join us next half innings. Look forward to that. Fastball skied on the left field line. Cliff Pennington's ball, he's got it. Side retired. So a run for the Indians. They lead 4-1, and Raleigh Fingers, the Hall of Famer, is going to sit down and chat with us about the '72 World Series. Good one. But we got the real guy here. We like that. Raleigh, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
You know, when Ricky came up last year, he said he wanted to come up to see his head bobble. So we want to see your bobble, your head bobble.
My bobbles, it only goes up and down. It doesn't go back and forth. It just goes up and down all the time.
So this is the first time you're seeing it. What do you think?
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Yeah. I kind of like it. See, it's going up and down.
You're shaking off the catch.
I never shook off Ray. He always stuck down the right fingers.
You did one time, and then that was it. That's all right. How are you?
Good, doing great.
Great. You're all over the world, aren't you?
Oh, all over the place. I go to Houston the day after tomorrow for a charity golf tournament.
That's great.
So I'm all over.
How is your golf game?
It's not bad. I've been playing quite a bit now. I'm down to about a 2 or 3. So I'm playing a lot.
How about your pal Kenny Holtzman?
Holtz, yeah, I saw Holtz here. We've been up in the suite over here in Dead Center. We've been having a good time. Old stories and all that kind of stuff.
How's his golf game?
I don't know. I haven't talked to him about golf. I think all he does is eat.
I remember you guys used to have some pretty good matches.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we used to play a whole lot. Yeah, we were spring training all the time playing. We had a good time playing golf.
Riley, we're having fun talking about that 72 World Series. You pitched in 6 of the 7 games.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So you were fine, right? Give me the ball.
Oh, heck yeah. No, I enjoyed going out there 2 and 3, 4 innings at a time. That way I stayed sharp.
6 out of 7.
Yep. Daryl Knowles through all 7 games.
Did he really?
73, yeah. Yeah, we had 19 World Series games in those 3 years, and I pitched in 16 of them. So we got my work in.
Well, Vida got the save in game 1. You got the save in game 2, and you just faced one batter, right?
One batter. Came in, faced Julian Javier.
See you later.
Remember it well.
Julian Javier. And his son Stan played for the A's later.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, Stan Javier. I watched Julian Javier as a kid growing up when he played for the Cardinals.
You're just a pup.
Well, hey, then we're both pups. Because we're both in that same category.
Yep.
So what is do you have a memory that stands out from that 72 World Series?
I think you every kid I think wants to be in a World Series and pitch in a World Series, and you dream about being on the mound for the last out. And I had that opportunity getting Pete Rose to fly out to Joe Rudy in left field for the final out in the 72 World Series. So of all the outs I've ever had, I think that's the biggest one.
Riley, you have to explain. You were a starter at one time.
Right.
And became one of the greatest all-time closers in the game, the Hall of Fame, very deserving. But how did that work out? And explain, because kind of describe you as a kind of a rubber arm that you could pitch every day, as you did out of the bullpen. But how were you able to do that compared to starting?
Starting, I was a head case. I was terrible. I'd get pitched and I'd get knocked out in the second inning and wait 4 days to get knocked out in the second inning again.
Well, you made the right
move. Dick Williams had enough of it in 1971 when I was the starting pitcher, and he threw me in the bullpen, and I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. We were playing the Yankees, and I was the only pitcher left in the bullpen, and I came in and pitched 2 innings and got a save. And when we went to Boston the next day, I pitched 3 innings and got another save. And he called me in the office and said, "From now on, you're my closer," because I was on my way out of baseball. I was on my way to the minor leagues. I couldn't get anybody out, but I just had the type of arm where I could throw every day, and I was just fortunate enough to be able to do that.
And to the point that if you knew when you were going to pitch, it changed you versus, hey, get up and 10 minutes.
Exactly. I was sitting around waiting for 4 days to get knocked out in the second inning was no fun. So I liked.
That one's hit into left field, and that's a base hit. Here comes Reddick, and the ball is not picked up by Duncan. Reddick scores, and Cespedes to second. It's a 4-2 game. So you want a Cespedes with an RBI single.
Keep talking, Raleigh.
Yeah, I didn't like the idea of sitting around waiting all those days to get knocked out in the second inning again. So just coming to the ballpark with the chance of getting into a ball game that day was more to me, I guess. Mentally, I could handle that. It didn't make any difference what the situation was. When the phone rang, I was ready. So that was a lot easier for me to do it that way.
And I appreciate describing what the definition of a head case is. So I think you just did it.
I was a head case.
There's no doubt one of the all-time great closers. And I talked to Brian Fuentes in Anaheim, and of course he pitched for the Rockies, and Goose was there at the time. But he talked about Goose and you, of course, and the number of innings that you pitch, just like you said. And Mariano Rivera will go down in the history of the most saves ever. But if you had pitched 1 inning saves, of course, you could probably still be pitching right now, right?
Oh, yeah. I could trick somebody for an inning right now. I don't care.
but the difference of what you had compared to Mariano Rivera, much different, of course, now, pitching just 1 inning. But who knows how many saves you could have had.
Yeah, well, it was different, as it is today, because back then, we had Catfish Hunter and Kenny Holtzman and Vita Blue, and these guys are going out and completing 45, 50 ball games a year. So consequently, you're not going to get those saves. That's why the number of saves have gone so much higher, is because there's no complete games, and most of your relief pitchers are 1 inning pitchers. They're getting 45, 50 saves a year, and they're only pitching 60, 65 innings. That's the big difference.
Pitch is low, and the A's have 2 on, 1 out, and a run in. But we love the story. Game 3, the pitch to Johnny Bench. We love watching it. Yeah. But we like watching it while you tell us what happened.
Well, Dick's on the mound. He's he's pointing all over the place, and he's telling Gino, at the time, I didn't know what was going on, because we had a 3-2 count on bench, and he just told Gene to stand up like we're going to do an intentional walk, and he said, as soon as Raleigh picks up his leg, I want you to jump back down behind home plate, and we're going to pitch to him. And before Dick left the mound, he said, I want you to throw a slider. I don't want you throwing a fastball in case we don't trick him. We don't want him hitting the fastball. And I said, okay. And I went into my stretch out here, and Morgan was on third base, and he started screaming at Bench, they're going to pitch to you. As soon as I heard Morgan yelling, I just picked up my leg, and I could have sat out there with a bucket of balls and not thrown a better slider.
So Johnny Bench probably wasn't terribly happy with that.
No,
he probably still isn't terribly happy.
I don't bring it up to Johnny very much. We're good friends, but I never bring it up to him. But he said that's the most embarrassing moment he ever had on the field was there.
Well, the great highlight of him just throwing his bat, that's an intentional walk. I'm going to first base. and you're right. But I know that anybody that saw you pitch or had fortune to catch you, you could paint the corner, whether it was the fastball or the slider. And the slider was the best pitch, there's no doubt. And nobody could throw that pitch like you could to nail the corner the way you did in that particular case in the World Series. And, just sadly that Dick Williams isn't here to talk about that, unfortunately passing away. But to see his arms going and pointing, everybody in the world thought it was going to be.
I had no clue what he was coming out to tell me. And he starts pointing all over the place. And while he's pointing, he's just telling a completely different story. I mean, I was dumbfounded because I'd never even heard anything like that before.
Both the runners take off. The throw is to second base, and they're going to get the out there. Cespedes steals third, but Smith is thrown out.
Well, that's one of the problems there, because the trailing runner, they had no chance to get Cespedes, and that was a pre-planned play for Santana to go to second. And unfortunately, the runner at first doesn't know with the green light if he's going to be running, and Seth Smith was out by Plymouth. Perfect throw by Santana. Now, Raleigh, explain, because the rule changed because Dick Williams at the time in '72, couldn't they go out as many times as they wanted? Was that
no, it was just one time.
Was it still one?
It was still one time, and
it seemed like he went out every.
I know. Well, we didn't have a complete game in that series. Yeah, I don't think we had a complete game in any of the World Series games that we played. So yeah, he made a lot of trips.
And it just seemed like he made so many that they decided got to change a little bit.
Gomes, strike 3 call. Riley, can you stick around another half inning?
Yeah.
We got some more
no
questions
place to go.
about that.
Yeah, no problem.
72 World Series. We know how it ended, though. It ended just like this.
we go. That's better.
Cespedes with an RBI single. It's now 4-2. The Indians lead. Top of the 6th inning. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. As Jerry Blevins comes in, so Graham Godfrey goes 5 innings. He leaves trailing 4-2. So Blevins will try to keep it a 2-run deficit. Our conversation with Hall of Famer Raleigh Fingers.
And Raleigh's happy he got his head straightened.
Yeah, I finally straightened it out. I'm looking a little better.
Get your head straight, will you?
Well, head case got his head straight.
93 pitches for Godfrey. We're talking to Raleigh about that 72 World Series. Rain played a bit of a factor in that, right?
Yeah.
Games
game
3, 4, and 5 got pushed back. Is that correct?
It rained so hard here one day. There was just one cloud in the sky, and it was right over top of this ballpark, and it just dumped everything that day. It was a mess.
They used to say that about downtown Cleveland. Every game, the clouds right over Municipal Stadium.
Yeah, it was miserable.
But you guys had Game 5. You were close to winning it right here at home, right?
Yeah, I gave up
6 outs away.
I was on the mound. Pete Rose got a base hit off me up the middle, fastball up and out over the plate. It's funny how you remember pitches that were 40 years ago.
That's amazing.
They beat you.
So you headed to Cincinnati. No day off between Games 5 and 6.
Nope. And we got our clocks waxed that in Game 6. We got beat like 8-1 or 8-2. I think that game.
8-0.
Was it 8-0?
I think so. Well, it was the most runs scored in the game because everything else was one run.
Yeah, everything was 1 run. There was 6 1-run ball games that year.
That one hit hard to Kaihui. He grabs it.
Well,
that's out number 1.
What did you think when Vida? We were talking to Joe, and that year when Vida came back and he was a plumbing salesman, and ended up pitching out of the bullpen. But you're the closer, and Vida Nome was a starter, and he's pitching out of the bullpen. I mean, how did that work?
Well, it didn't bother me at all. Back then, we had 4 or 5 guys down there. We kind of shared the work. I had Paul Lindblad and Darrell Knowles and Bob Locker and Hamilton and Joe Horland. If I have invited down there, it wouldn't make any difference to me. I was going to see right-handers if it got late in the ball game anyhow. So Vida was down there. If a left-hander came up, that's who Vida was going to see. So it didn't bother me. As long as we were winning, that's all I cared about.
Because that's how you got your raise. You got a World Series check.
Oh, yeah. That was the only way you got a raise. It was a World Series check with Charlie. You kidding?
He actually told me that one time. He said, you go to win the World Series, that'll be your raise. That's you got to be kidding. Thing is, he was right.
That was it.
Talk about catfish.
Oh, great. If I ever had one baseball game to win, I don't care when it was, I would hand the ball to Catfish Hunter. He was a big game pitcher. I mean, if we needed to win, that's who I wanted on the mound. And he always won the big game for us. And he was probably the best pitcher I ever played with. He wasn't overpowering. He had great control, hit spots. He never gave up a bunch of home runs. He did give up a lot of home runs, but they were always solo. He never gave up that 2 or 3 run home run. And he always managed to go, pitch 40 starts a year and complete 22, 23 of them every year. That's just the way Catfish was. He was one of the best.
So that's out number 2. You've never seen enough of Catfish Hunter either.
Nope, that's him right there.
Yeah. He was Mr. Automatic.
Yep. Same motion year after year after year. Never changed.
Cap would go down and then
fix it, pull it up.
He was great. Yeah, great times. And of course, Dick Williams.
Manager. He changed my career.
So is it fun seeing everybody?
Oh yeah, we've been having.
Everybody look the same.
If you look at everybody's stomach's a little bigger and their hair's a little thinner and a lot grayer. But we're telling some good war stories up there, and we're having a lot of fun.
Well, the one guy, and we talked about it, and Dave Duncan. He's in 72 and no longer with the Cardinals, so he finally gets to come to one of these. Otherwise, he would have been with Tony working.
Yeah, he's going to be here tomorrow, I guess. He got a big hit in that 72 World Series, too. Left field, drove in the tying run.
You had some good mashers. Now you have to say before you go, talk about the mustache, because you guys started it all in '72. Your handlebar and everybody growing the mustache.
Yeah. Well, the only reason why we did it was to get Charlie Finley to get $300 out of him. That was it. That was our raise for the week. He told everybody at spring training, because we started growing mustaches at spring training just to get Reggie to shave his off, and he wouldn't. So we found out what we were doing and told everybody on opening day, if you had a mustache, $300. He came down to the clubhouse and had 30 checks, 4 coaches and a manager, and 25 checks for the guys. So,
Raleigh, thanks for joining us. Have fun this weekend.
All right. Thank you. I will. Thanks for having me on.
Receiving A's camp driven by Chevrolet before the A's take on the Detroit Tigers at 5:05. For more information and tickets, go to oaklandathletics.com/tickets.
Bottom of the 6th inning, the A's trailing 4-2 to the Indians.
It's a good man. I tell you, that man could pitch, and you know, in all seriousness, what he did in the World Series with bench at the plate. I don't know of any pitcher who could have a catcher standing up like it's a pitch or an intentional walk, put the hand up, and then move back behind the plate in the same motion he's pitching and nailing the outside corner.
Yeah, throw a perfect slide.
Exactly. I mean, that's not as easy as he made it look. And as he said, bucket of balls probably couldn't have done it again. But he was good.
Down the left field line. Not an easy play for Jack Hanahan, but he's under. Kahue is retired. Well, the Sharks, well, they got their backs against the wall big time, folks. After dropping game 4, they travel to St. Louis. They are down 3-1. Tomorrow is desperation time. Game 5, you're going to see it right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. The coverage begins at 4 p.m. with Sharks pregame live. So there's the breakdown, folks. Sharks cannot afford another loss, obviously. So tomorrow is game 5. If they can get it to game 6, back in San Jose. So they got work to do tomorrow. So good luck to the Sharks in St. Louis. A loss, and they are done for the season. So our game will be on Comcast Sportsnet Plus tomorrow. Our coverage starts at 5:30. So it was just the year before when Raleigh became a reliever.
And like you said, Dick Williams. And I remember it faintly. I mean, it wasn't as if it stood out of them being starter, but he knew best himself that, you know, when you have, back then it's 4-man rotation, you sit around and you think for 3 days. Now it's 4 days, and you have a bad outing, and now you got to sit around and wait until you go back out. And in the case of Raleigh, when he went to the bullpen, I mean, for a pitcher to have the type of arm that he did, and it was called rubber arm because it was just like there was nothing in there, just set. He would just grab the ball, throw it every day.
So do you remember facing him when he was a starter?
No.
No.
I no.
Well,
it just, and I don't know that maybe he didn't even have a game in which, when I was at the time that he was in rotation. But I mean, you think about what the A's did and the facial hair at the time, and the multicolored uniforms, the shoes, all the things that Charlie Finley brought to the game. Night baseball, the World Series. So I mean, there are a lot of things that I don't think baseball ever wanted to give him any credit for, because he wasn't really well liked. But he knew how to operate a baseball club, and he did it on a shoestring. But I don't think he ever lost a penny. Red had some great clubs, but it was prior to free agency, and arbitration just kind of came in towards the end of his ownership.
0-2 pitch to Sogard, fouled it back. Well, is it not true, though, that Charlie Finley was bothered more by arbitration than he was free agency?
He had a simple statement: arbitration would be the death of baseball. I mean, as far as salaries, and you think about it, no owner has ever won an arbitration case, because there's always a raise for the player when the two figures are submitted. So they can say, well, the owners won, or the player always wins because there are two figures given, and it's always a big increase from the previous year's salary.
Well, you know what? It certainly didn't ruin baseball, but
no.
As far as salaries skyrocketing, arbitration is as responsible as free agency.
Well, you just talked about Santana's contract. Why? Because of arbitration. They do not want a player to have good seasons and go to arbitration, because they really don't know what the figure is going to be. If they can sign him or any player to a contract, cost certainty based on the certain number of years and how much they're going to be paid, and players are smart for doing it. If they can get a long-term contract, guaranteed money, and in the case of Santana, take it to the 6-year free agency, then he breaks the bank.
Sure, he'll still be a young enough player.
Yeah, and that's usually the way they are.
Nasty pitch there. Sogard strikes out for the second time. 3 up, 3 down inning for Ubaldo Jimenez. Indians 4, A's 2 after 6. White freeze can. Coors Light Freeze Can is brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light. It's the world's most refreshing beer. Indians come to bat, top of the 7th inning. They're leading the A's 4-2. Jerry Blevins had a 3 up, 3 down 6th inning through just 13 pitches, so he's going to try to get a second inning of work The bullpens are quiet on both sides. Brantley with a walk in the third inning. He'll be followed by Kipnis and then Chu.
The A's and 3 lefties out of the bullpen, and Fuentes a good job last night, as well as Roberto. So Jerry Blevins, who did not get in the game, comes in with a lineup of quite a few lefties in the lineup. Of course, with Graham Godfrey, the right-hander, starting for the Athletics. Jerry Blevins, about last year and a half, he's been working on a cut fastball, and that might have been the true slider there, but he has a shorter breaking cut fastball and then a bigger one, and a pitch that he's comfortable with, but it faces a lot of lefties. He wants it to be right there. That's a good fastball outside, but he wants it the outside part of the plate.
Count is even at 2-2 to Brantley. Now Blevins is ready. The 2-2. Cute foul. Michael Brantley was part of that CC Sabathia trade when the Indians traded Sabathia to Milwaukee. And really, it's been a trade that has not yet worked out that well for the Indians. The young players they got have not turned into really high quality everyday players, not yet anyways. Matt Laporta, who was in the minor leagues, he was part of that deal.
And the Brewers knew they were getting Big CC for just 1 year before he went to free agency. He got on the postseason and raised the bar, because he went back in the old style pitching every 4th day, 3 days rest, especially down the stretch the way he did, and a lot of success.
Seth Smith takes care of Brantley, and that's out number 1. Orioles have scored a couple runs in the 7th inning. It's the Angels 6, the Orioles 3.
Now batting, number 22.
Both hit home run yet?
Kipnis.
I don't think so. White Sox 6, Mariners 2 in the 7th in Seattle. Yankees and the Red Sox played a day game today at Fenway Park. That's the first meeting of the year between those two teams. Tony Sipp, the left-hander, starts to throw. And of course, they're celebrating 100 years of Fenway Park.
100 years to the day that
the
first game was played. It was against the Yankees in 1912 on this April the 20th. So the game took 3 hours and 10 minutes because it was extra innings. They said, oh, it's just normal the way the Yankees and the A's play today. That's a fast game.
That one hit hard right at Reddick. Well, the game was a day game because they wanted to have it start the exact same time it started 100 years ago, and that's why it was a day game today.
Join the A's this Sunday for our 2012 Little League Day, driven by Chevrolet. This year's event features a pregame festival and on-field parade for uniformed players and coaches, and a special A's giveaway item. In addition, groups of 100 or more will receive a special invite for pregame chalk talk. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit oaklandathletics.com/Little League. I thought it was great that the Red Sox invited every living member of every team that ever played in Boston that they could reach was invited back.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, and it said the Carlton Fisk, Jim Rice, and Carl Yastrzemski caught the ceremonial first pitches. There were 3, and Kevin Millar and Pedro Martinez stood on the dugout of the Boston Red Sox and had a toast to the entire crowd. They said it would go on a Guinness Book of Records for the largest toast. They had under each seat a cup with grape juice. And they were going to have a stadium-wide toast.
That's
yeah.
Chu is going to try for second, and he's going to be in there. A little bit of a tough hop for Pennington. He could not come up with it, so Chu is going to be at second. So he tested the arm of Cespedes.
And Cespedes a strong throw, but Cespedes had to go to his left as the ball was hit into right center. Long run for the A's center fielder. He cut it off, and here comes the throw. Strong, but it was strong throw, but a short hop. That needed to bounce about another 5 feet out on the outfield grass. Chu would have been out by 10 feet and could have been out anyway. Pennington, though, could not handle the tough hop.
So it scored a double. Chu is 2 for 4, and here's Carlos Santana, switch hitter, hitting from the right side. In that game, the Yankees hit 5 home runs.
Cliff Pennington knew Chu was coming, and well, that's just a tough hop to try to handle. 5 solo home runs.
Yep. A-Rod hit number 631, so he's all alone in 5th place. Up next is Willie Mays at 660.
Up next is De Los Santos, who had a short outing last night, 2 hitters, and did not fare that well, so he hopes to recover tonight if he gets in the game and have a better outing.
One and one the count to Santana. 0 for 2. He walked and scored in the second inning. Good pitch there, first drive. Rangers were rained out in Detroit. They'll play a doubleheader tomorrow. Day and night.
Well, the Tigers, the team in the Central, of course, the Indians, the way they're playing, they'd like to feel like they could do something in the Central. Rangers off to a tremendous start.
Yeah, they don't want to get rained out. Texas 11-2. They've won 7 in a row. The Twins beat the Rays 5-4 down in St. Petersburg. Josh Willingham had 3 RBIs. He's got a 14-game hitting streak, so he's having a very good start to his season with the Twins. Way inside. Toronto beat Kansas City 4-3. So the struggles continue for the Royals. They have lost 8 in a row. And you know what, Ray? 7 of those at home. They have not won at home. The last game they won was the rain-shortened shutout of the A's.
And it started the Wednesday afternoon, a week ago Wednesday, when Jonathan Broxton got the first out. Seth Smith ran hard on a routine ground ball. Escobar made an error, and he could not throw a strike.
There's a line drive. That's a base hit. They're going to wave Chu home. Smith's throw is a good one, and the tag, and it got it. Perfect throw by Seth Smith. Rucker put the tag down, and Chu is out at home. 7th inning stretch coming up. 4-2 Indians. 4-2. Could have been 5-2, but Seth Smith made a very nice throw, and Anthony Recker made a nice tag, and they just got Chu at the plate.
Well, a nice charge. The ball hit very hard, and you can see that Smith had the ball just as Chu rounded the bag, and that's what you like to see, a strong, accurate throw. Anthony Recker had to go get the ball and then dive back quickly, and got Chu at the plate. That's a big run not to score. Reddick almost threw one out at the plate. Seth Smith accomplished it, and strong arm, very accurate from both corner outfielders. Recker went to the ball and then dove back towards the plate with Chu sliding in, got him in the thigh, and there's a home plate umpire right there.
Nice play all around to keep the Indians off the board. Weeks drives one left center. That's hit pretty well. Duncan's back. He's at the wall, and it off the top of his glove. And Weeks is digging for third, and he'll make it with a slide.
Two things. Jamal Weeks always runs hard. He doesn't know if the ball's going to carry out or not. And Shelley Duncan played it nicely, got back to the wall, jumped up, just could not hang on. But a high fastball, not a very good one by Sip. And I don't know, but right off the tip of the glove, but looked like when he hit the wall, came out of the glove. But Jamal Weeks hit it, but look at him run. And that's a young man thinking 3, if it drops, hit second base. He's got an easy triple once the ball did drop out of the glove of Shelley Duncan. Tony Sip living up the strike zone like that. He's trouble.
When it's time for change things, Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. The oil change tune smog expert. So the lefty Sip is in the game. Not good numbers in the early going, and is a big part of the Indians' bullpen. Tony Sip. He had a big year last year. 69 appearances and a good ERA of 3.03. He's getting himself in trouble here in the 7th.
Shelley very tall and played it. I mean, that's a great leap, and just off the end of his large outfielder's glove, and just could not. Why weren't you there? You played the camera out of my glove into your glove, and we both get an assist and an out. But a good break for the A's. Nice attempt by Shelley Duncan.
Joe Smith, the sidewinding right-hander. So Sip facing Pennington with the left-handed hitting Reddick in the on-deck circle. Foul straight back, 2-1. Ubaldo Jimenez, 6 innings tonight. Wasn't pretty, but when he came out of the game, he allowed just 2 runs, 107 pitches for Jimenez. He walked 5, struck out 3. Down in it. That triple by Weeks, his first of the year. He had 8 last year. Pitch runs inside, and that is no swing, and it's going to be a walk. Walk number 6 the A's have received. First and third, and nobody out.
Pennington, more self-defense, is trying to get out of the way. The ball running inside. Santana asked him for the peel at first base, but Alan Porter said no. So maybe the last batter for the lefty Sip facing Josh Reddick. And think about Reddick, he usually has pretty good at bats against left-handed pitchers.
Swing and a miss on a high fastball. Reddick's had a good night, a homer and a double. The home run came in the 3rd inning.
Hanging curveball from Jimenez and belt high, and that 85-mile-per-hour curveball, and he smoked, no doubt about it. Josh Reddick, of course, with the Red Sox, before being traded to the Athletics. Ryan Sweeney off to a pretty good start, getting a chance to play quite a bit in the absence of Carl Crawford and Kobe Ellsbury.
Fastball, swing and a miss, 1-2s. Reddick got a fastball to hit there, and he missed it.
And then Cipis staying with a fastball. He just has to keep down the swing and maybe think opposite field.
Cespedes in the on-deck circle. Swings wildly at a pitch that was way out of the strike zone. So Sip strikes out Reddick for the first out.
And Maniacta heading to the mound to get Sip, who once again threw a pitch high, but fortunately for him, got a swing and a miss from Reddick.
So 1 out, and we're going to have a right-hander coming in to face Cespedes.
Is brought to you by Chevrolet, proud to support youth baseball in cities and towns across the country, and by Jack in the Box. Right now at Jack in the Box, you can try the new Chipotle Chicken Club. Make it a combo with fries and a drink.
4-2, but the A's with a couple of runners on, 1 out, and this will be a good challenge for Cespedes. Joe Smith is a pretty good reliever, and he's tough to hit from the right side. And that's why. A lot of movement.
Sinker slider, and with the drop down motion, something that type of pitcher that so far Cespedes has not really seen. Just kind of drop down motion.
A slider that spins outside. Smith is in his 5th year. First couple with the Mets, and then with the Indians since 09. There's a base hit right field. Cespedes shoots one the other way. Weeks trots home to score. It's 4-3.
Cespedes perfect tonight, and probably the most important thing, he has 2 hits to right field. And that is, well, he just keeps impressing a lot of people. So Sip's run, one of them scores, but he was patient. Took a couple of pitches, a good sinker out of the strike zone, a slider that missed in, waited, got a fastball, stayed back, and shot a base hit to right field. So a couple of runs batted in with a very quick bat speed. 15 rippers.
So a 1-run game, and here's Seth Smith. Outside. 8 hits now for the Athletics. Joe Smith last year had a 2.01 ERA in 71 games. For the Canadians. Smith chases that pitch down and in and rolls it foul. 1-2 the count. Pennington at second, Cespedes at first. Cespedes is the go-ahead run. He's very fast.
The slider almost hit the back leg of Seth Smith. Had he not swung, ended up hitting his front foot. Hard slider from Joe Smith, not opposed to throwing it inside the lefties.
Swing and a miss. Tailing fastball, and Smith strikes out. So 2 outs here in the 7th inning.
See where Santana's setting up almost behind the hitter, so he could make sure that Smith had the movement. And boy, there was a lot of movement on that.
So here's Gomes. He's needed a 2-out hit to tie this thing up. Single and a walk, strikeout for Gomes tonight. Slider and a good one for a strike. Goes with the fastball. This time it's outside.
Goes with the fast delivery too, almost a balk delivery. Hardly paused in its set position.
There's the good action on that fastball. This is what Johnny Gomes did in Anaheim on Wednesday.
And his new shoes on, the 707 number, 707 area code. Saw the 209 downstairs too. Dallas Braden. It's a couple of days away from resuming throwing.
Good take. Well, you could sit next to the 925 every night. How about that? That's me.
I know that. Have your own little special place.
Sure, the 925.
See, do they have a section up there for you?
Yeah, there would not be a whole lot of people sitting up there, I don't think. Family members. Big pitch, 2-2 the count.
Well, he's run the fastball inside to Johnny Gomes. That fought it off. And of course, he's got the hard slider. A 2-2 pitch, always critical. And I think Joe Smith was the one leading the conversation with his catcher Santana. This is what I'm going to do. Let's get back there and I'm going to throw it. I'm going to give a sign, let everybody know that's fine, but this is what I'm going to do.
Well, Gomes is ready, so is Smith. Shoots one foul, headed for the Indians bullpen.
Well, as a hitter, you really have to be ready, prepared, because Smith is hardly stopping, and it's almost like a quick pitch. A lot of times with runners on base, most times the pitcher will come to a set position, look around at the runners. But Smith doesn't even look at second. He knows the hitter is the most important. At least he is not a couple of pitches in this at bat.
Running in, and Gomes fouls it back. So good battle here by Johnny Gomes. Fuentes and De Los Santos both loose and ready to go down in the A's bullpen.
Could be Fuentes in a tie. De Los Santos trailing by a run. A's would like to get the lead. I'd love to see Cespedes run on a ball in the gap.
Inside, and it's a full count, and that's going to help the A's with two very fast runners. Johnny will take off of the pitch.
Johnny was going to take one on the kneecap. See him push the knee out. Well, this is a protect mode here. You really cannot think 3-2 fastball, and Johnny knows there's hits to the right field side, as Cespedes did. Protect the fastball as well as the slider.
Slider, call the ball. Wow.
That's a great eye, but a slider that was down. You remember the pitch that Shelley Duncan took, 3-2 fastball that was down? Well, so far tonight, Darryl Cousins has been very consistent with the pitch down. This stripped the heart of the plate, but below the knees. Johnny knew. So did Smith. Smith thought he had it. Johnny comes in. No, it's a ball. Of course, if you stand up straight, it's about chin high, but crouching, he gone.
Wow.
I think Johnny's looking fastball.
So here's Kaihue.
He's thinking about the 9.25.
And that pitch a bit outside. So Kaihue hitting with the bases loaded. A's down by a run. On the outside corner, call the strike. It all started with a Weeks triple. Pennington a walk, Reddick a strikeout, Cespedes an RBI single, Smith a strikeout, Gomes a walk.
And Donald playing so far up the middle.
Good pitch there, 1-2.
The bat that Derek Barton had against Downs in Anaheim. But if he throws that two-seamer away, just a protected swing a little bit late, although this one started inside, got a lot of the plate. Late swing by Kaihue, he could find the left field gap, or through the left field or left side.
Took a good rip at that one, fouls it back. The 1-2 pitch is tapped to the left side. Hanahan stays down on it, flips it high, and they get the tag on Kaihue. So Kochman makes a nice play. A's get 1 run closer. It's 4-3 after 7. Against these Cleveland Indians, he struck out a couple in the ninth. It's a game the A's won 3-1. Remember, David DeJesus hit a couple of home runs. Grant Balfour, that was his first save with the A's, and now he's the A's closer. And doing a very good job.
Number 48, Travis
When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts. Patino de los Santos enters the game for the 5th time this year. Jerry Blevins, 2 innings, a couple of hits, but no runs. So Blevins certainly did his job keeping it close and allowed the A's to inch just a little bit closer. It's 4-3. Top of the 8th inning. Hafner, Duncan, and Kochman. Jordan Norberto is throwing out in the A's bullpen. The Indians bullpen is quiet for the moment. Just a bit low, 2-0.
Within 1. De Los Santos needs to have a good inning. And doesn't need Norberto to have to come in with the 1st and 3rd, nobody out, to get out of the inning, which is what he did last night. Did a great job.
Missed again. 3-0 to Hafner. Hafner's walked, singled, and been hit by a pitch, and he has scored. Called a strike. 3-1 to Hafner. Walk. So Hafner is aboard. Stay on top of Oakland A's baseball by signing up for Final Score Alerts from CSNCalifornia.com. On your mobile phone, text A's to 82653 to get immediate score results following each game. A's final score results are powered by CSNCalifornia.com. Lots of walks tonight. That's the 6th walk issued by A's pitchers. Indians pitchers have issued 7 walks with 13 walks combined. And Kurt Young's going to come out to pay a quick visit as Shelley Duncan takes the first pitch for him.
The thing is, De Los Santos, when he is good and throws strikes, he's almost unhittable. 96, 97 mile an hour fastball, but well, last night and tonight in back-to-back appearances, he's not anywhere close to the strike zone. And that is a dangerous sign.
Well, Kochman and Hanahan, a couple of left-handed hitters, are the next 2 hitters. Duncan has popped out to short twice and walked and scored in the 4th. That one just misses. 2-0. If you're showing a little better control, you'll probably get that pitch called a strike.
Or you might even get the hitter to swing at it, because it looks like right now you're just making De Los Santos throw a strike.
That went in the hole, and it's going to get through past Pennington. Shelley Duncan has his first hit. 2 on and nobody out. And now Melvin's going to go for the lefty-lefty matchup. Makes the call to the bullpen. Norberto coming in. So De Los Santos faces 2 hitters. Doesn't get anybody out. And the Indians got something going.
Anchor team with you with MLB.TV. Subscribe today to see every A's out-of-market game live online in HD quality. Features include choice of home and away broadcast, multi-game viewing with Mosaic View, and the ability to pause and rewind live games. Visit OaklandAthletics.com to order. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere.
And the Indians threatening here at the top of the 8th inning.
Number 35, Casey Kochman.
There's Norberto. He's got Kochman and Hanahan back-to-back here. See if Kochman is bunting. Both the corner infielders think that he is. Sogard and Kayahui come in. Aaron Cunningham, former Athletic, is the pinch runner at first for Shelley Duncan. Cunningham will play left field. Kochman not bunting, and he takes a fastball first strike.
And Maniac to give him one chance to try to swing and do something, and now he can put on the butt. I think it's a possibility. Sogard moving back.
Miss.
That's a nasty hard slider by Norberto. He came in last night through strikes. He has already done it tonight, throwing strikes first 2 pitches.
Big outs last night. Hafner at second, Cunningham at first. And that went way high. And Kochman almost swung it.
This is Norberto last night. First and third, nobody out. Got out of the inning. Ryan Cook also got out of it. Grant Balfour finished it with a 5-4-3 double play in the 9th inning. He is victorious, 5-3.
Tapped foul. Slider that Kochman just got a piece of. Well, those games in the 9th inning now. The Angels leading 6-3 over the Orioles. And the White Sox leading 7-3 over the Mariners. Let you know when those two go final.
It's like Jordan Walden finally gets a save opportunity.
First one, he's in there with the 3-run lead. Kochman fights it off. Hanahan, the guy in the on-deck circle, has been the hero tonight for the Indians. He's knocked in 3 of their 4 runs. Left side, Sogard has it. Little low throw to Weeks. He handles it. Kayahui digs it out on the other end, and that's a pretty nice double play.
Low throws all around.
Sure.
Huh? Meanwhile, Norberto does it again. First and second, gets the ground ball double play. Probably could have been turned a little bit easier, but going opposite field, Kochman, and there's the low throw to second, and Weeks upended. Kayahui, nice pick at first base. The problem at first base, that pick by Kayahui, ball gets by and unscores. So a nice backhanded pick, good hands by Kayahui. And Norberto out away from getting out of another jam.
He's got to get Jack Hanahan. Hanahan a sac fly in the second and a 2-run double in the 4th. Hanahan choking up some. Outfield shifted toward left center field. Slider, 1-1. Good pitch there. Almost hit Hanahan. So you think Jordan Alberto is thinking about letting that beard grow out?
It's out pretty far right now. I mean, I don't think it's going to stop.
I don't think so either.
It helps him throw strikes and get a big outs, and why not? Nobody in the bullpen, so Alberto with Donald on deck.
So 3-1. Swing and a miss. Norberto went right at him, 92 miles an hour.
Yeah, the outside corner, almost the point of not afraid if he walked him. And Hanahan going at it aggressively, and of course, see if he thinks about a 3-2 slider now. And Hanahan thinking about a fastball, which most hitters should be thinking fastball in this count.
Hafner led off this inning with a walk. He is now at third. 3-2 pitch. And Hanahan got a fastball. He shoots it foul. There's action out in the Indians bullpen. Another 3-2 pitch, and Hanahan takes it. So that's a good at-bat by Jack Hanahan. And that is walk number 7 by A's pitchers.
And I think in the case now with the right-handed hitter, the hard slider that Alberto throws down and in the right hand is a very tough pitch. So he could go fastball in or away and then throw the hard slider down and in as well. As long as he throws it hard, that's a very tough pitch coming in on the hands of a right-handed hitter. For him to, first of all, recognize whether it's a strike or not and hit it solidly.
Quiet night for Jason Donnell at the plate. A couple of strikeouts. He takes down and in. Well, with all the walks tonight, the game has a slow pace to it. Would you agree with that?
Yes. Change up and a good one.
Yeah.
Well, the string at 84 after a mid-90s fastball, and Donald out in front.
Donald takes, and it's low. So the Indians are making Norberto work here in the top of the 8th inning. Giving up a couple of walks. A couple of walks in this inning. Not all of his, but now it's 3-1. De Los Santos faced 2 batters, gave up a walk and a single.
And Alberto missing inside with the fastball, throwing him a changeup and 3 fastballs, not throwing the slider down in.
Donald feels like he's in the driver's seat. 3-1 pitch. Tap toward the shortstop. Pennington has it. He'll flip to Weeks. Side retired. So Norberto gets out of it. And the Indians strand a pair. Bottom of the 8th coming up.
and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
Is someone driving a truck on the upper deck? No way!
Let's check out the game summary. It's brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. 4-6-1 for the Indians, 3-8-0 for the Athletics. Lots of walks tonight, 14 total for both teams. The A's have 2 more shots to see if they can pull this one out. The Indians, on the other hand, they're trying to win for the 6th time in their last 7 games. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. Vinny Pastano comes in.
For the Athletics, batting for record, number 10.
So Pastano will face a pinch hitter, Derek Barton, and then Sogard and Weeks. So Pastano comes in.
And he is a 2-pitch pitcher, fastball, slider, 4-seam fastball. But the impressive thing about him, he sprints from the bullpen. And Cunningham stays in the game. He'll play left field. And Pastano just sprinting in from the bullpen. He did not slide. Once he got him down.
Well, that's good. First pitch to the pinch hitter, Barton, is a strike.
Kurt Suzuki's night, his off night, has been just ended. Has come in and catch. I don't think Derek Barton's going to stand and catch, do you?
I would not think so. Behind in the count here, 0-2 to Pastano. And on 3 pitches, Barton strikes out for out number 1. But now in its 6th season, the Comcast Sportsnet All-Star Teacher Program recognizes Bay Area teachers that make a difference. Visit csncalifornia.com and vote for the 2012 All-Star Teacher. Check out finalist bios and video features. The winning teacher receives $20,000 for his or her school. Pastano comes in throwing strikes.
It's not a 4-seam. That's a lot of movement on his 2-seam fastball, especially the lefties.
This one's lofted toward left. Cunningham's going to get some action just in the game. He's got it. So 2 outs here in the 8th inning. Grant Balfour throwing.
Now batting, second baseman, number 19, Jemile Weeks.
So here's Jemile Weeks. Vinny Pastano's a guy who got an opportunity last year, and he made the most of it his first full season in the big leagues. 67 games last year. Finished with a 2.32 ERA. He's going to give up at least a base hit and more. It's going to be a double for Weeks. He may just keep on running.
Oh, he's fun to watch.
It's just, Weeks slaps one into left center field.
Well, 2 hits, last 2 at bats, triple, scored a run, double. He hopes to score another run as he waited on his 2-seamer and shot it to left center. Ball just kept scooting. Cunningham got there, couldn't come up with it cleanly, and well, last night, Jemile, which was the night before when he got the RBI double to left field in the 9th inning. Well, you find there's a lot of hits to left field if you're a left-handed hitter, and Jemile proved it.
So tying run at second for Pennington. So Pennington is 0 for 3. He walked in the 7th inning. Chance to tie the game. Outfield straight away in a couple steps. Right there, 1-1.
Pretty good fastball after missing with a breaking ball. Came back with a fastball that Cliff Pennington has been wondering why could not pull the trigger. Maybe the ball got in a little bit farther than what he was expecting, looking for a pitch away from him.
One pitch to Pennington is a slider that floats outside.
First pitch, breaking pitch, slider missed, came back with the fastball. That's right. Third pitch, slider missed it. He comes back with another fastball. Pennington looking for it to tail away from him so he can go to left field.
Weeks doing his best to distract Pistano. He is the tying run. Had some weird action to it.
Unintentional cut. Normally
rising cutter.
Yeah, normally it's going away, and back-to-back fastballs. Pennington, instead of the pitch being away, which he looks like he's hoping for, pitches have been inside.
So now the count 2-2. The pitch to Pennington is bounced to the right side. Big hop for Kochman. And Pistano gives up the 2-out double to Weeks, but the A's cannot capitalize. Ninth inning coming up, still 4-3 Tribe. The ninth inning from the O.co Coliseum. Norberto back out there for his second inning. He fires a strike to Michael Brantley. Kurt Suzuki is indeed in the game. Rucker was pinch hit for. Swing and a miss by Brantley. He looked like he was way late on that one.
This lineup does set up perfectly for the A's and their lefties because of the number of left-handed hitters in the lineup.
Brantley is 0 for 3, walked in the third. His batting average under 200 at 196. Will at some point get Grady Sizemore back, but not anytime soon. Maybe wait till the second half of the season for Grady Sizemore. Back surgery in early March.
That's a young man who went forever without ever missing a game. And all of a sudden, once he started having his injuries and surgeries, it's one thing after another.
Well, he was at that time one of the best all-around players in the game. That one toward the gap that gets past Cespedes. Brantley is fast, and he's going to ease into second with a double. Once it got past Cespedes, it was going to be a definite double.
Join the A's for our inaugural Youth Sports Movie Night, driven by Chevrolet on Saturday, May the 12th. This post-game highlights for this event include a movie viewing on the field and an autographed item for kids 14 and under. In addition, all participants will receive a snack after the game. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or go to the OaklandAthletics.com/youthsports. Thus, purchase a special ticket for this event to participate in the festivities. May the 12th. Snap.
So Jason Kipnis is the hitter.
What the movie's going to be?
No. We'll find out. You and I will watch it together. It'd be great. Buddies. Huh? Roberto picks it up. He throws in time. So the sacrifice is complete.
Okay. We'll be there. But he had a pitch to try to hit. Kipnis did to move the runner. He didn't work out, so he sacrificed. Brantley the third. So Chu gets a chance with a run and third, one out. Nice play by Roberto. So yet another lefty. Sometimes for a pitcher to sit down and get back up again. Roberto last night, first and third, got out of the inning. That was it for him tonight. Gets out of a tough jam last inning. He's back up this inning. So he's going to put himself in a tougher jam with a runner third and one out, infield in.
Chu knocked in a run in the fifth inning with a single. He also doubled in the seventh. Lays off that high fastball. White Sox beat Seattle 7-3. Adam Dunn had 2 homers and 5 RBIs, so he's starting to hit the ball a little bit better. The big guy. Chu swing and a miss. Good slider from Roberto.
That's that big guy for Hawk.
The big guy. He is the big guy, Adam Dunn. Adam Dunn and the White Sox will be here Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
A very good hard slider thrown by Roberto to Chu.
Pitch, swing and a miss. He went with a fastball at 93. Chu's swing looked like he was looking for a slider.
Yeah. I don't know that he could have hit either pitch, either the slider or the fastball, but Roberto, who with Brantley could not nail the outside corner until the 3-2 that he hit the left center, but Chu, he did.
So one more tough out to get. That's Carlos Santana. It will not be Santana. It'll be Travis Hafner. Well, this is an intentional walk, but it'll be the 8th walk of the night by A's pitchers. Chris Perez, the Indians closer, has just finished up his warm-up tosses, so that's who the A's will see in the bottom of the ninth.
Without looking at the statistics, I can't remember another intentional walk in the first 15 games, 14 prior to the night.
There's Perez. Angels finished off that win over the Orioles 6-3.
That is the first. Thank you, B.I. Thanks for looking at the stats for me. It's all in there.
He is the stat man.
That's why B.I.
Travis Hafner.
Oh, we thought we had a good one in Anaheim from Brian Hagan, but B.I. is numero uno, best one.
Yes, he is.
Why are you rolling your eyes? He is good.
roll my eyes because I'm tired. No, B.I.'s good. He's good.
The A's would like to go to the bottom of the ninth, trailing by 1. Travis Hafner with runners at first and third. And they don't intentionally walk a lot of hitters. They're going to give Santana second if he wants it. Kyle Huey's not even going to hold him on. Played back. And now, I don't know if that's intentional to try to be a defensive player, but Santana wants to. He can walk to second. So that would take away a possible force. Put another runner in scoring position.
Swing and a miss. Hafner has not been retired tonight. He's walked twice. He has singled, and he's been hit by a pitch.
Got a good slider. He's sitting fastball first pitch, and very good slider thrown by Norberto.
Swing and a miss again, 0-2.
Well, he has thrown two very good sliders, both really out of the strike zone. Good block by Kurt Suzuki, smothering the ball. So Travis Hafner, usually a very patient hitter, swung at two pitches not close, and you'd have to think he should get another one.
Hafner has gone for a long walk. So he's pulled it together, down in the count 0-2. Brantley at third, Santana at first. Santana does run this time. He'll get to second.
Should be called indifference. Travis Hafner just went into protect mode because he did throw another slider. It was out of the strike zone, in the dirt as well.
Looked at Brantley, who's dancing around there at third, and he came down the line about 15 feet or so, which he can do because Sogard is playing way over near the shortstop spot. So if you're Brantley, why not? Just keep walking.
It's his game. Waldo Jimenez.
Way outside, so the count is now even 2-2. Norberto out of the bullpen tonight has thrown 39 pitches.
Probably tell him to take tomorrow night off, but this is a big, big out right here. Two quick strikes, two sliders in the dirt. Running second base now, Santana a catcher, so it's important, and Coach Suzuki making sure he's going through multiple signs so Santana cannot relay. And of course, if the hitter knows the slider's coming, he's going to be a lot more patient.
2-2. There's another slider, and Hafner took it and looked like he had a better view of that one.
He knew he was looking fastball the first two pitches, got sliders, and now he's back to his normal style of hitting. That's being patient.
So Cunningham, a right-handed hitter, in the on-deck circle. The payoff pitch, and a good take by Hafner. Roberto threw that slider, and he threw a pretty good one. But Hafner checked his swing, and the bases are loaded.
Well, he started to swing, and then the big guy just held up because he was able to recognize the slider. So the first two pitches, and I wouldn't say he set up Norberto, but no stride. Started, held up, couldn't get the call.
So in steps Cunningham. The first pitch is rolled to the shortstop. Pennington has it. He'll go toward Weeks. Side retired. Indians leave them loaded. Bottom of the ninth coming up. It'll be Reddick, Cespedes, and Smith against Chris Perez. 4-3 game. Indians leading the A's. It is the bottom of the 9th inning. So the A's fans trying to get something rolling here in the 9th. When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. It is the closer, Chris Perez, coming in. He's 4 for 5 this year. So Perez will face Reddick, Cespedes, and Smith. And maybe a couple more. First pitch is a bit high.
3 saves last year for the Tribe against the Athletics in his 4 appearances. And the A's would like to put a BS and maybe a L all together. Blown save and a loss.
5th pitcher of the night for the Indians. It's been Jimenez, Sims, Smith, Castano, and Perez. 2-0 pitch is hit down the left field line, foul territory, to the first row seats. Good night for Reddick, 2 for 4, couple of runs scored. He's got a home run. He's got a double. Home run was his 2nd of the year. A's post-game live coming up after the game, so keep it right here on Comcast Sportsnet California. Reddick got jammed, and it's 2-2. Chris Perez last year had 36 saves and a 3.32 ERA for the Indians. Another foul ball left side that'll reach the seats.
Perez, like most closers, at least a lot of them come in through throwing hard. Throw to midnight his fastball with a slider.
Another foul ball, so Reddick is getting pretty good swings off of Perez. Cespedes, the man in the on-deck circle, has not been retired tonight. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul ball. This one looked like a breaking ball, rolled foul.
Cespedes in his young career has not had a walk-off yet.
Tonight's the night. Game number 15.
Reddick has to get on though.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, unless he could tie it and then walk off maybe next inning or a couple of.
Left field, Cunningham on the move, still on the move. Fair territory, he's got it for out number 1. So Reddick is retired, he's 2 for 5. Bring up Cespedes.
Now batting, center fielder, number 52, Yoenis Cespedes.
So here's Cespedes, 3 singles, a walk, 2 RBIs. First pitch, a slider called a strike. So 0-2. Now Cespedes is going to have to protect a little bit. That one just missed outside. That pitch may have been better than the first one called a strike.
Now he's opening up and very close. Yeah, about a quarter of an inch.
That one just a bit outside. The balk by Darryl Cousins doesn't mean a thing. Watch Darryl.
What's the 2-seamer and whoa! Amazing how the Velcro attached to the arm just hugs the leg.
Perez just keep pumping it in there, and he gets Cespedes swinging with a fastball. So that's out number 2.
Well, he went the tailing fastball, started it out, brought it back towards the middle, and Cespedes with a strong swing, but it's perfect night now. The strikeout.
So it's up to Seth Smith. If he can get aboard, Johnny Gomes would get an at bat. Breaking ball snaps inside to Smith, who is 0 for 3. Look at that, 3 for 3, double and a home run. One and one the count to Smith.
Seth Smith does not have a home run this year. He owns him and he's got a home run to his credit, and maybe this is the night.
Perez goes back to that breaking ball. Jimenez went 6 innings. So an agonizing 3 innings for a starting pitcher when he leaves with the lead. 2-1 pitch. Skied. And this could do it. Donald, the shortstop, is under it. And Perez, the closer, comes in, and he has a 3-up, 3-down 9th inning. And game 1 of this 3-game series, it goes to the Cleveland Indians by a final score of 4-3. So the A's fought back. A single run in the 5th, a single run in the 7th, but could not make the full comeback. So with the loss, the A's dropped to 7-8. They'll go back at it tomorrow night in game 2 of the series. So 4-3 is your final. Indians over the A's. You've been watching A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet, part of the NBC Sports Group. Don't go away. A's post game live with Henry Wolford and Greg Canaray starts right now.